You think you're weird? I think you're dumb. You fucking had that show makes it so fun. You're drunk now, just go home. You're drunk now, just go home. You're drunk now, just go home. You're drunk now. You think you're special? Listen to it all. You would like to tell me down up. You drink is home. You're drunk now, just go home. Coming in from the luscious loins of LaPel, Indiana, my name is... What is my name this week? We'll go with Jonathan Shepler. Hanging out always with the lovely Katie Hurley.
Hi.
And Paulie motherfucking Punk. Oh, look at that win. Our guest this week is none other than the infamous guitarist and trainer of karate champions, John Trouser Thomas.
Hi.
Hey.
Oh, nice.
How was your daytime commute, sir?
Oh, it was interesting. There's all kinds of cars off the road on 465 on the north side. Like right before I left, I checked because I'm like, I got a couple different routes to get up there, and like I was like, damn it, Shep had to move to LaPel. All right.
Yeah.
So I looked at the map and I was like, all right, it's usually the other way. That's really okay. Yeah, it's green. Yeah, let's do it. By the time I got up there, this wreck had happened. And of course, it's usually how it works out for me. I was like, all right, whatever. So at least it wasn't me. So the rest of it was pretty smooth. Just
About how long did it take you?
about an hour.
About an hour.
It wasn't too bad. I've had worse.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Well, you're coming from Speedway too, right?
yeah.
Yeah. It's not too bad.
It's not.
Well, I mean, the haul here won't be much longer, so probably about 5 or 6 more weeks, and then we'll be shooting somewhere else. So,
Right on.
yeah, and hopefully, I mentioned this last week. I want to throw this out there again, in case anybody's fucking paying attention. Do you know what I'm referencing when I say, "How was your daytime commute"? No. All right.
Off my head.
So there's this song called Millionaire, or You Think I'm Worth $1, but I Feel Like a Millionaire by Queens of the Stone Age.
Mhm.
And they have this little promo before the song actually starts, before the drums come in.
Yeah.
And there's this radio guy, and he says, "How was your daytime commute?"
Mhm.
And I'm waiting for the day that somebody says, "I need a saga." What's the saga? It's Songs for the Deaf. You can't even hear it. And when that day comes, I will stop asking that question. But if you're working the show, whatever. But if you're a guest on the show and you actually go with me on it, I'll never ask it again. I'll never be like, "How's the drive?"
Keep doing
Just
it.
get pulled over. Well, we won't be shooting in LaPel for much longer, but
The luscious loins.
the luscious loins
It's
of
very
LaPel,
luscious
Indiana.
out there.
I have to
It's
say, it was
quite
nice
lush.
for about 5
Are we moving to a
minutes. Got off the
studio?
highway.
What are we doing?
I don't know, Polly. You're the money
Okay.
man. Figure it out.
Wow.
Yeah, we haven't even really
All
discussed
right, so we'll
it.
be at the park on 21st and Broadway.
Coming to you from the Smoker's Garden at the Melody Inn. We jumped the fence. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
We
We'll
jumped
just
the fence.
take my wireless internet service there.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Some freaking
Perfect.
patrons trying to hit on me mid podcast.
Are you guys gonna do it in the daytime at the mill when it's really weird?
Oh
in there?
no, it's always gonna be Wednesday night.
Oh, right on.
It's a midweek crisis. It's important. It's on Wednesday.
We can do it in the VIP.
What do they call it? The PBR
PBR
lounge. Lounge, not the Smoker's Garden.
Mm-hmm.
Although I want to smoke. That's the issue. Where are we
Yeah.
gonna do this and be able to smoke? John, you got a place? What's up? We're gonna start shooting Speedway.
No.
You're like, we brought you on this show. We brought you on this show just to see if we can start shooting the podcast at your place. That's why you're here.
I would actually rather drive to
LaPel.
LaPel than Speedway, to be honest.
Fair enough.
So at least
Yeah.
when I come home from LaPel, I can get on the interstate or I can shoot down 9. You know what I mean? But if I gotta go home from Speedway, no,
You gotta
sorry,
go all the way around
Trousers, not interested.
465.
Were you working in Shelbyville today, Paulie?
I was.
Nice.
Don't tell anybody.
I'll try to keep it down. The number's low. Maybe 4 or 5 people.
They won't know. Hello, Wayne.
Chiming in for the win. What's up, Birch?
Hey,
How was your commute, Katie?
So when I was leaving, my window was down in my vehicle, and it was a very deep water puddle, and a car decided to speed pass by, and I got completely drenched.
excellent.
And I yelled, "What the fuck?" in my car, and then I drove off. I was like, I was like real wet, and it's like the fucking raindrops from, the water coming in were all over my front. So half my drive, I was like trying to drive fast enough so those would like go away, but they wouldn't go away. It was an extreme sport.
Jesus.
It's kind of how my
Extreme sport.
at times.
Extreme.
Extreme.
Yeah, you got it.
Are we getting ready to take our first shot or anything?
Oh shit!
Yeah.
I don't even have a beer. or
Trousers was kind
nothing.
enough. Do you want to?
Yeah, give me one of those boys.
It's a zombie dust. There's also Heineken or here. I'll do you the solid and
Do me the solid.
get that.
Yeah, just go ahead and open
for
it.
you. Open it for you.
Thank
Uh,
you. Ow, ow, ow. Okay.
But yeah, we have there's Miller Light left over from last week, and then there's Heineken. I don't know who brought the Heineken. I can't remember.
Who brought that?
Too many brain cells ago or whatever.
Who brought it?
So what, Katie? Like before we start getting into the life story and drama that is John Trousers' life, why don't you tell everybody what you were doing before the podcast today and why you almost showed up late?
I got a
So,
tattoo
very
done.
Good reason. Tattoo.
Yeah. I'll show you all. It is an angel eating a hot dog.
An angel eating a hot dog. Oh yeah, we could probably go full screen here.
I gotta stand.
Yeah.
Wait, can you see it? Oh my god. Whoop! There he is.
It's an angel baby with a hot dog. And what's the backstory to that again? You were telling us earlier. It's really cool.
So me and my friend Megan already had one, a Cupid, but hers was a devil eating a hot dog. So I was like, I want to get an angel eating a hot dog, and I asked her if it was all right. I was like, would you get mad if I got that? And she was like, nah. And I was like, tight. So I did it.
Hell yeah. That's awesome.
A Cupid.
How much did that set you back? Like 6
I'm not
$7
gonna reveal
million?
my sources.
All right.
But if you need a good tattoo done, go to Big Time Tattoo and ask for Christine.
Where's that located at?
That is, it's on Madison. It's like in Greenwood, I think. It's off Epler. Right off Epler. It's very very nice in there. I like it. I like they have a bunch of drippy clocks.
I had a map quest in my head. I was like doing the map in my head, like, okay, I know where that is.
I know where that one
I
is.
used
Looking
to
for
live not far
locations
from
around
there.
it.
Once, once upon a time.
You what?
I lived near there once upon a time.
Epler and Meridian?
Mhm.
Oh wow, this is
Nah.
hoppy.
Yeah, it's super hoppy. Three Floyd, Zombie Dust.
Wow, that's what we're sponsored by today.
Yeah, thanks, John. Hell yeah.
And a big ass bottle of Jack.
Jesus Christ. That's a big ass bottle of Jack, man.
I know,
You
right?
Knock
Like,
somebody the fuck
look
out
at
with
this.
that.
Look at this shit. It's like
Wow.
About half a
Wow.
Oh yeah, we got the
Wow.
gotta throw that in there. So John, man, what have you been up to, bro?
I've been working a lot. Took off on my own about 2 years ago, and it's been interesting.
You literally ran away from home 2 years ago?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. I left my mom's basement and moved into my basement. No, I've been in my house for like 12 years now, but I basically live in my basement though. But it's my basement.
It's
so-
my basement.
my basement. All my cool shit's down there. The cats own the upstairs. They have full reign, full control over that.
How many cats do you
I
have?
have 2.
2 cats.
Yeah.
Right on.
I have 6 right now.
It's-
I had a
Yeah,
get a
but
mama
it's really
cat.
like one
yeah.
because you put all 6 of those together like a Voltron to make one cat.
Yeah.
I don't have any cats, but there are 3 cats that have me.
That have me.
Yeah.
that's
mean,
how it works.
That is really how it works. That's why I
Yeah.
said it. Because it's like, do you really have 6 cats, Katie, or do 6 cats
Have you? They have me. They're
They-
just the little BB ones. They're just opening up their little eyes, and they're scared to death. So like, I'll pick them up, and like they'll see me and they'll be like, "Oh my god, ah, ah!" Like it's really funny. Like, I mean, I guess I'm maybe I'm not scary.
Soon they'll be, they're crying now, right?
Yeah.
So now that's the first step of manipulation of human
Yep.
is the cry.
Oh,
And then
how
the second
innocent.
and the most powerful form of manipulation is the purr.
Yeah.
It's science.
Yeah.
It controls it actually, and it affects your blood pressure too.
It does. It
Mhm.
lowers it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I let mine sleep with me all the time when they're quiet, at least, because it'll like lay on my back. One will lay between my
You
knees, one
mean-
will lay on my back.
You mean they allow you to sleep with them?
That's correct. That is 100% correct. And
Yes.
I can't stop them. They'll do that kneading thing.
Oh, the making the biscuits.
Yeah, they'll do that like right on my back.
I love
and
that one.
sometimes they do it in the right spot. And I'm just like, right, finally.
Yeah.
Like a little to the left, cat. Come on now.
You ever just like inch yourself like?
That's great, man.
So,
So
Chauncers, you used to be in a band called Speedbird,
Speedbird.
Yeah, it was like
right?
mostly pretty much me and two other dudes from my high school, and we had a couple guys singing with us back then. We had Steve and John, two different eras of that, like very brief eras. I think like 2.5 years we played shows.
I
maybe.
remember.
But
Yep.
it
Played
was
shows
just
with you.
like we just got together and jammed, and we're like, let's start playing shows, and then did that at the Mill a couple times. And Ben, our drummer back then, I forgot about Ben. Goddamn, he was there from the start. He was not from high school, but he was from college. I knew him from when I went to Marion, and he and I were jamming along with Joe from my high school. And then he got a job in Dallas, had to move out when we brought Ian in. And we played for about 2.5 years of this weird stuff. And it was like never really anything that we had the time to really pursue. But it's like, it could have been interesting. But I mean, listening back to it, it's like, it's interesting stuff. It was fun shows and whatnot. But, it's never anything too crazy at all. We did play out of state one time though. We went to Moe's Tavern up in Chicago, and that was a blast. And that was when I found out about Chicago cigarette taxes, like I was telling you earlier, when I went to buy a pack, and I was like, yeah, I want one pack of cigarettes, and like $15. I was like, oh, I just want one. Like, yeah, that's one pack of American Spirits here, bud. I was like, oh, okay.
I need to buy mine before I
Mhm.
leave the state Saturday.
If gas wasn't so expensive, you can go to Kentucky, man. That shit's super cheap down there.
Kentucky.
Kentucky. They got it all down there. They got fucking old nude fucking strip bars. They got cheap cigarettes, cheap booze. Probably marry your cousin when they turn fucking 14. Who the fuck
Don't
knows?
do
It's
that
Kentucky.
one. Don't do that one.
I'm just saying Kentucky's fucked up. But they got
Hey.
cheap cigarettes.
I didn't know that, but I know a lot of the stolen trailers get taken down to Louisville because you can sell them without a title.
Mm.
That's just something I read
Oh.
on a comment on a news
Interesting.
article. But
See, it's all
seen-
fucked up down there.
Yeah.
You
So-
get away with about every goddamn thing.
or
It's crazy.
I can't remember. There's been so many of them.
That's why they don't have any sports teams outside of college.
Yeah,
Name a professional Kentucky.
I don't know.
I don't either. I cannot think of one.
I mean, I don't follow sports too close. I'm starting to get into hockey.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Hockey's dope.
Yeah.
It's fucking wild. Like, and
Blood and
just
broken teeth, baby.
never had a reason to get into it. I don't know. Like, I like the Mighty Ducks. I was of that age when that came out.
Emilio.
Yeah, I love it.
Hell yeah.
And one of these days I'm going to rewatch it. But I mean, and I was like, okay, but we kind of made fun of hockey. But my friends and I back then were like, we admitted it's like because we can't play it because it really looks kind of cool. And now I'm watching it. It's like I got sick of the NFL because they started having more and more penalties. And it's like we're going to do play reviews, and it's like we're watching I can't say that.
No. Katie and I were saying hi to Jess.
Oh,
Jess
no,
Sargent.
yeah, you can
I
say
saw
whatever
a
you want.
signal, and
Yeah.
I thought like
Watch-
I said
yeah.
a brand name. So I
We
don't know.
always interact. We're,
Oh, okay.
try to.
Yeah.
I didn't want to interrupt you, so I was just like,
Oh, no, that's cool. I was just like,
Is this a signal?
Yeah.
I'm paranoid about all the
Peace
copyright
up,
stuff,
A-Town
so-
down.
as long as we're not playing like copyrighted music. We're pretty
okay.
much good. We can talk about whatever we want.
I don't know
but
that AI, like you said. I mean,
It's yeah.
Your brother needs to do one.
Well,
again.
so I went ahead and I searched my iPhone for what was it called? Chat GTP? Yeah. And it brought up the #1 like app for iPhones, AI, and I actually used it to make the post with the Karate Kid.
Mhm.
So that's all
Wow.
generated. I was actually we already kind of talked about it before the podcast, but it was really fucking weird because it was like I was talking to a human and I was like, tell me this, and I basically broke it down, and it's like it told me, it was like, I can't do that. That's not truth. Like that's not the truth.
Yeah.
I can't do that. I was like, well, it's a joke. And it told me, it said, well, I'm an AI generated program. I don't understand jokes or sarcasm, but now that I know that it's a joke, do you want me to go ahead and tell you now? I'm like, yeah. You fucking twat. Yes, tell me. And it told me. I was like, all right, copy. And I just fucking pasted it, and then I inserted like musician in because I forgot to say musician, but yeah, that was all GTP there. Yeah, totally.
that's what it's for. It's for comedy.
I remember
It's beautiful. For
last
that.
week I generated like a bunch of AI versions of you
Yeah,
in
that
the
was-
flyer, and it was like different languages. I'm like, God, dude, this shit's
I want to
good.
see me as an anime girl.
It's like, yeah. Well, yeah, what I'll do is I'll take our little logo like for the video, and I'll do the same
Oh my
thing.
god!
And we'll all be like, oh man, it's crazy.
I want to see that
It's
now.
I don't have. We're using my phone right now.
Eventually, you're gonna do this podcast all AI. Like you're gonna. Be
Yeah.
I
sleeping
am
and
gonna be an
running this
anime
thing.
girl.
Yeah, we're not even gonna show up. We're just gonna hit. We're just gonna be like, all right, AI, do
AI
it.
podcast.
Yeah, we'll have like Bill Clinton come on the show. He'd be our guest. He'd be sitting right there on the couch. Like,
You got to bring Max Headroom on the
Wow.
show if you're gonna do that though.
it's kind of
You got to
crazy.
bring the OG back.
Oh
Do you
man,
remember Max Headroom?
mm-mm.
Oh my god,
That's headroom.
you got. He was like that. He was in Back to the Future. When they went back to, was that 2 when they went to the future?
2, they
2015?
go to the future. 3, they go to the west.
Okay, yeah, that's what I
The
thought.
west back in the day.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
19th
It's
century.
been a minute since I
20th
watched
century.
it, but there's like a brief snippet where Marty's walking around like, what the fuck is this place? And he pops up. He's like that AI guy with the blonde spiked hair.
Oh, okay.
that, like it glitches out all the time.
Mhm.
That's Max Headroom. You got to have him on.
Wayne says Matt Fuhrer. Fuhrer?
Fruer.
Fuhrer.
Matt
Fuhrer. Matt Fuhrer.
I,
Fuhrer.
was that who
Jesus
played
Christ.
him?
No idea.
Matt Fruer.
That
Fur.
name's familiar.
Fruer.
But yeah, it's kind of crazy where we're going. It really, in a way, it makes you question just at least myself. But I'm big overthinker, big deep diver. So I don't know. Makes you wonder if, like, you know, how evolution works. Maybe we are going to grow into our next step, and in a way, maybe we will not just be organic, but possibly mechanical.
Mhm.
Possibly. I want robot.
The future of humankind is
Give
beyond.
me those robot gun titties. That's how
I'm
I
sure-
want to be mechanically.
I'm sure we're at least
That would be
five or 6
awesome.
months away from that.
pew
So.
pew 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 pew.
But yeah, it's rather interesting, you know, and the idea, which is pretty commonly recognized by the scientific community, that we are more than likely already in a artificial reality. So, but you know, we won't dig too deep into all that.
Yeah, oh my god, yeah.
Capitalism just takes away everything we could do.
Yeah, it's a shitty social structure for us. For sure.
Hey.
So yeah, John, when did you start playing music?
Probably 8 years old when I started actually playing. It was saxophone. We had 5th and 6th grade elementary. We took the junior high bus, and because junior high started an hour earlier, and we did 5th and 6th grade band, and I played saxophone. What got me interested in music, the very first thing that sparked that interest was the movie La Bamba.
Okay.
I love that.
I figure
movie.
you're gonna go with either Lisa Simpson or Bill Clinton, but all right.
No.
I'm here.
No, who
La
got me-
Bamba.
I started with saxophone, and what got me interested in saxophone was, you know how Time Life had those like compilation on CD or cassette, and call 1-800 da 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 da, and they had like all kinds of different genres. And they had I was thinking about doing band because my mom did band; she played clarinet, and I was like, I think I want to try it. I want to play music, and I remember the jazz compilation came up, and it was the Dave Brubeck song "Take 5," and it's Paul Desmond who plays that saxophone part. It's like boop 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 ba-da-da-dum dum. If anybody's like if that jogs any memories, but that's terrible vocal rendition of it. But I just like that sounds so cool. That sounds so cool. I want to play that. And then the odd thing is my dad is like hated Bill Clinton, but he was like, "Oh, you're gonna play the saxophone? You're gonna?" And it's like saying, "No, Bill Clinton plays it, makes it look good." I was like, "Oh yeah, he kind of yeah, that was good PR. I mean, that was pretty good. He's a good player. I think he like had some kind of um shit. I can't remember what it was. Like, was it a Rhodes Scholar? Maybe
Oh, I
I
have
don't
no
know.
idea.
He met JFK through his, I think, high school or collegiate saxophone playing. I can't remember, but yeah, he was definitely an accomplished player. No
The
doubt.
only
Presidential.
I know for sure that he definitely taught Monica Lewinsky how to play.
Oh, the skin flute.
He
Yeah.
taught her how to play something. Yeah.
The skin flute.
Yeah.
I love
The
how
skin
like on her
flute.
like Twitter, she was like she like makes jokes about that shit all the time.
Oh, I'm sure.
She was like, they told me an internship at the White House would be good for my career.
Yeah. She soon found out it blew.
Wah, wah.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh no. So John, like when did you do your first band? Like
Me and some friends in high school used to jam. And Ian and Joe and now his older brother Tom, we all used to jam back when we were teenagers. Like this was back. Oh, I like Jackass was really big and CKY was really big, and that '96 Quiet Bitter Beings was like the big thing. And so we figured that song out. I remember us doing that, and I didn't really play in any bands. I just kind of jammed around here and there with people. I didn't really get bands going until my mid-20s, and it's just like with the kind of schedule I have, it's really hard to do. And then everybody else that I do jam with, people keep having kids or just life changes and whatnot. So we still jam. We try to just keep it casual, and like we've recorded, I put it out there. We're not trying to make anything out of it right now, but it's like it's there if anything ever falls into place and anybody wants to play weird experimental music. So I mean, it's not everybody's cup of tea necessarily, but it's kind of like, I don't know, maybe something other musicians
How
might be
would you-
interested in at some point.
How would you describe your sound?
I don't know. We kind of say it's prog rock, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know. It's influenced by that a lot with like, we have typically 6 to 9 minute long songs. We're big Pink Floyd, Rush, and King Crimson fans, but, we're also big fans of all the punk bands you grew up with, like not a punk band, but I was hearing them on the way over here, the Killers. I think that was a big band for us back then. And I mean, I love the oldies too. So that doesn't really influence my playing too much. That's just more like my favorite kind of pop music to listen to.
Because I know you're for sure, like as long as I've known you, you're guitarist.
Mhm.
Do you have any specific guitar players that inspired you?
Jimi Hendrix is at the top of the pyramid. I've got three big ones.
He was in the Strokes, right?
Yeah.
Early
Yeah.
2000s.
Ooh, the Strokes
Yeah.
are good. I like the Strokes.
Yeah, Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in the Strokes.
Wow.
I love Jimmy too, man. He was one of the first guitar players that I started following.
Man, back when I had my old truck before it got T-boned, the CD player in that one worked. I had this CD I've had since I was 15 of it's a compilation of Jimmy songs, and it had "Hey Baby, New Rising Sun" as the last song on it. It's like one of my favorite Hendrix songs. But I just I had that thing in there and just listened to that all day for the time I had that truck, and then then it got taken away from me. But I listen to Jimmy at least once a week. I got a couple of his live albums I found, like Monterey, and there's a lot of really good footage that they've restored of him out there too. But he's definitely at the top of the pyramid. I don't say I just love his approach to it. It's just kind of like there are no rules.
Yeah,
There
for
are
sure.
no rules to this thing. Just like do you, and okay, well, if people don't like it,
Yeah.
well, maybe try it a little different.
If you're
but,
ever if you're ever bored and you need something to do, and I'm talking to everybody here, Google Billboard songs, top Billboard songs with kazoo in them, and you'll see like right in there is Jimi Hendrix Crosstown Traffic. Yeah, that's probably my favorite like go to. But Red House is that's my shit. That's my jam.
Yeah, I mean, I love the later stuff, and I'm like just kind of how my take on Jimmy and his career and his bandmates too. Like when I think it was Billy Cox when he brought him in on bass in the latter years. Like Noel Redding was a great bass player. I thought just how I've been like learning. Like I do a lot of recording now, so we mess around with basses and guitar players playing bass. So we're like trying to how to be a bass player. Oh God, But
Oh God.
Noel Redding's style was just like a real good rock style, and then Billy Cox had that his more rhythm and blues oriented, where Jimmy came from. I think he was an old bandmate or an army friend. I can't remember exactly. Like I'm not an expert on Jimmy's.
I know he worked
but
with Buddy Miles for a while, and then he was a guitar player for Little Richard.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. He was
the first Jimi Hendrix recording on guitar is with the Isley Brothers, a song called Testify.
No shit. No, I did not know that.
And the Isley Brothers are still going. Ron Isley has been there since the 50s, if I'm not mistaken about that.
Yeah.
And
Is it like his casket and they just put it on stage and Jesus Christ, the 50s, man. That was 70 some odd years ago.
Yeah, the dude
He must have been like 13 when he started playing.
That's at least what I see on the Wikipedia. Like I'm not don't take my word for it, but
just like Dick Dale, man. Like every time I saw Dick Dale,
yeah,
it was like, is he gonna die right now?
Yeah.
I saw Willie Nelson over the summer and it was like, fuck, dude. I was like worried about him. Like
keeps him alive.
Yeah, the weed keeps him going. Yeah.
Alive,
Him and his son
staying
were up
alive.
there fucking rocking out. It was really dope.
Hats off to those dudes for keeping on trucking.
Right.
That's how I felt when I saw Fear. When I saw Leaving, I was like, dang! And he had so much fucking energy and everything.
Mhm.
It was fucking so exciting. See?
Yeah.
Well, I know a lot of people hate this band, and that's fine. But it was my mom's favorite band because they were like the big band when she was 6, 7, 8 years old.
Oh,
The
man.
Monkees.
The Monkees.
Oh
Monkees.
wow!
And Mickey
I don't
Dolenz.
hate the Monkees.
That the Monkees, they're a TV band. I mean, but they were interesting. It is what it is.
Didn't they do like a tribute to the Beatles? What is it? Yellow Submarine?
I can't remember.
I'm pretty sure they did. Or no, was that the Bee Gees? Fuck, man, I don't know. That whole era is wishy washy because I wasn't around for it. But
yeah, I can't remember, and I haven't really dove into the Monkees too much since I was like 8 years old. But
they have one song that always stuck with me, but I can't even remember it.
Stepping Stone.
Mm-mm.
Minor Threat did a cover of that one. I'm not your stepping stone. I, not your stepping stone.
No, it's not the one. It's not the one. I've heard that though.
No,
It's not the one.
it's a good.
It's
cover.
like it's more of like a acoustic jam, I think, or something.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know. I could be totally wrong.
I
Okay.
could
I'm
be
not
so
sure.
wrong.
Yeah.
But Mickey Dolenz was out doing like a final tour. He was the last living member of the band, and he was doing like a memorial tour. And I was like I want to do something really good for my mom. Like this would be cool too.
Hell yeah.
And so I got like third row tickets to that. It was down in Nashville at the Brown County Center, and that dude's like okay, his 3 other bandmates are dead, and it's like, but the dude is great. I mean, like performing for a guy in his 70s, like walking around, and I was like, he still got it. So you got to give him credit for that at least.
Yeah, for sure. Shannon mentioned Keith Richards. He's like 180 years old.
Yeah, he's gonna live. He's gonna outlive me.
Charlie Rith thinks the Monkees are better than the Beatles.
Dude, there's no way that the Monkees are better than the Beatles. I mean, come on, Charlie.
Get it together.
Get it
Come on,
together.
Charlie.
Maybe not music.
Not creatively. There's no way.
No.
Oh
No,
man.
the Beatles were definitely they had some chops, man.
Yeah, I
Oh
like
my
that.
god, they had
When they
some
started
chops.
doing drugs, that's the era that I was like, all right, this is my shit.
When
Like
I
White
hop-
Album or whatever.
When I hopped on that Beatles tribute and I had like 4 days to learn those songs, I didn't learn them all accurately. I just kind of learned how to cover up some of them, but I was like, I knew what I was getting into. I was like, it was the later stuff. And I was like, no, these guys, like, it's not just GADB. It's just all this. I don't know music theory, but I know how to figure out chords, and
Oh,
I've
yeah.
been playing it long enough and dabbling in this and that.
It's the most ultimate,
So-
like, universal language outside of math. But
Mhm.
if you dare consider that language, but it is language, so whatever.
Yeah,
But yeah, you don't need theory to fucking, you know.
you don't. It helps.
Yeah, the best way I've always explained it is like the first time you watch A New Hope or Star Wars, the first one,
Yeah.
when Darth Vader, like the door opens up and Darth Vader walks through,
Mhm.
like right before that door opens, it goes boom, 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 and it's like, dude, it doesn't matter who you are, how old you are, what you know, it don't matter. You know what's about to walk through that door ain't fucking good.
Yeah.
Those sounds,
Mhm.
it's universal. You know, this ain't gonna be good. It's gonna be bad.
Yeah.
So it's the beauty of music. Man, I keep hearing shit. Like, I swear I just heard a door slam a second ago. I'm like, ain't nobody out there.
Is it the wind?
It might
Maybe I
be.
didn't latch the door when I went pee.
That door don't have a latch. So that motherfucker, yeah, it's a bitch to open sometimes. That's for sure.
Mm.
Can you pass me one more?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Are you talking about the zombie dust?
Yeah.
Oh, Charlie's got
Oh, yeah.
jokes.
Here, I'll pass it. What'd he say?
Wow. I got
Oh, Riff, how dare you?
That's mean. Oh, I'm hungry.
Are you?
Always hungry.
I've got some Season Nature dark chocolate medley. If you'd like some, or from the St. Patrick's Day show, we still have
Cheers.
Lucky Charms.
Oh my god. Let me see Let me see what that medley's like.
Yeah, it's walnuts and
How
almonds,
stale are
and
those?
dark chocolate.
Stale
Oh,
nuts.
I wrapped the bag. I wrapped it up.
Oh.
I know what's up.
Oh, wow.
I've been around a hot minute.
Wow.
Man, there was something I was gonna mention, but I totally lost. We were talking about music in general.
Yeah.
but, you know.
My favorite guitar players.
yeah.
And we
Hendrix.
talked about Hendrix, and we went off on a tangent.
We
I
sure
believe.
did.
We sure
Yeah.
did.
We didn't even talk about LSD or nothing. We just woo.
Oh my god, this
But
is good.
I got two others. It's like the top of my pyramid. Like, and to me, it's not a competition, but the other one is Terry Kath from Chicago.
Right on.
And a lot of people may or may not be familiar with that. They may hear Chicago and think of the 80s ballad stuff. No. This is like late 60s to mid 70s Chicago. And there's a great live show on YouTube of them. It was like Tanglewood in 1970. And it's Kath's playing is on full display. That dude just, the way he attacked the guitar, his picking, his attack, and it's just ferocious on that thing. And he's one of those guys that they said Jimi Hendrix said was his favorite guitar player. Like, that's some big deal. Like, of course Jimmy had guitar players that he liked. Like,
Somebody had to inspire him, right?
oh yeah. Watch some interviews where like this is Dick Cavett, I think, of back in the 60s, and he's like, who's the best guitar player? You're the best guitar player in the world. He's like, you're the best one sitting in this chair. But he was
Wow.
like, whatever, it wasn't a big deal to him. But anyways, Kath, he had a stupid accident with a gun where he was drinking and blew his own brains out by accident.
Oh.
He was like a Darwin Award recipient, and unfortunately, it's kind of well deserved. But I hate to say that. But other than that, it's a dumb mistake. And a great guy, though, a great guitar player. I mean, all these documentaries about him I've seen. I mean, the dude was just like 100% full throttle. Like, his guitar playing was him. So that dude, I've always loved his playing. And then the other one that I love is Robert Fripp from King Crimson. And he's weird. He like sits in the background, hides back in the shadows, and just noodles away on this crazy stuff. And it's just like his methodical approach to it. It's kind of, mockingly tyrannical how he approaches how King Crimson works. There's a weird documentary about them, and yeah, they're not everybody's cup of tea, but if you like the band Tool, if you like prog, you probably like them. Certain eras of them, they certainly had their different. They had their early '60s that was like all the whimsical, like the Moody Blues type stuff, and then they had their weird kind of symphonic period right after that, and then they had kind of just where the really interesting stuff for me was like a couple albums in the mid '70s, really, and then their '80s stuff was really interesting too. That had like a whole different lineup that still had Bill Bruford on drums. He was like a drummer for Yes and became a drummer for King Crimson, and as lifelong guitar player, cannot keep a beat on the drums to save my life. I love a good drummer. I love a good drummer. And the guy I've been jamming with, Ian, he's like doesn't get to practice at all. And this dude's just like ripping out all kinds of crazy shit all the time. I'm just like, yes.
Hell yeah. I actually you kind of reminded me of what I was gonna say earlier. Because we were talking about the Beatles.
Mhm.
And sorry, Charlie, but they had so many eras within them.
Oh yeah.
But it wasn't until they started doing drugs and their hair started getting a little longer. My mom was.
Hey.
Did you say hey? God,
Hair? Huh?
hair.
Hair
Uh-huh.
long? What's
What?
Don't worry about it.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't have any of that. But my mom was a big Beatles fan, and her favorite song always was "Back in the USSR."
Yep.
And
That's a
it
good
wasn't
one.
until like I was a little older, and I realized like listening to it, there's like reference to California '60s Beach Boys basically
Mhm.
sound in there, and it was totally like tongue in cheek, like.
Mhm.
Because they're banned from the United States. So back in the USSR,
Mhm.
it's tongue in cheek. They're fucking assholes,
Oh yeah. Beatles had a great sense of humor.
Yeah. And that's really what got me interested, or why I love like tongue in cheek writing.
Mhm.
And my favorite song of all time, I'm pretty sure it's a White Album, is the Ballad of John and Yoko.
That's a great song.
And,
Love it.
and here it is right here. And this is why I love it so much. Because Lennon got in some trouble because he said, and I quote, "The Beatles are bigger than Jesus Christ."
Oh, yeah.
And so he turns around and he writes the song, and the chorus is, "Christ, you know it ain't easy. You know how hard it can be. The
You
way
know it
things are
ain't
going,
easy."
they're gonna crucify me." I'm like, yes, motherfucker. So fucking good, man. Like, I just love it when artists like dig like that, or tongue-in-cheek type shit, it's a fucking beautiful
I
thing.
love British humor.
Mm-hmm.
They're really good at it.
Did you ever get into like Monty Python or anything like that?
Oh yeah. I've been to England 5 times. I love that
Wow.
place.
Like that's where your family's from, right?
No, Germany.
Germany. Okay.
Like 99%. My background. There's a Tucker in my line, which I would assume to be Irish, but he was my Civil War great granddad. He was crazy. It was a moonshiner in the 20s apparently, but I don't know. Like, I don't know if these are real or if these are like tall tales in the family. He was in the Civil War. I verified that with the records, but the rest of it, who knows?
Who
But
knows?
family legend, they're crazy. But
Oh, we lost the camera. Wayne Birch is actually wanting to know, John, where at in Germany?
Bad Wimpfen in Baden-Württemberg.
Can you say that one more?
It is, the town's name is Bad Wimpfen. It is Bad, BAD, WIMPFEN is how you phonetically spell it out. It's a little spa town on the Neckar River, which feeds into the Rhine. It's about 45, 50-minute train ride south of Heidelberg. So I flew into Frankfurt, took the ICE train, the Intercity Express, to Mannheim, which is just outside of Heidelberg. I can't remember where at exactly, but I remember being on that train. I was so jet lagged, and I got so drunk before I got on that plane that I'm sitting in the aisle of this thing because I didn't really know how the train system worked, and I'm looking out the window, and it's flat and it's cornfields, and I'm like, "Am I in Indiana? It literally looks like northern Indiana. And then you see like the DB, the Deutsche Bahn truck go past. I'm like, oh no shit, I'm in Germany. And but it's in the outer reaches of the Black Forest, I think, down in southwest Germany. It's a spa town. My grandma lived there. She was 8 years old when World War II ended. There's even a little monument in town of when the Allies arrived. I can't remember which GI division. It was a American that arrived there, but it was a recreational town. It was never a military target at all. There was never any action, to my understanding, around there. So everything in the town still stands, going back to the 1100s. There's some of the
Fuck.
old embattlements or fortifications around the town. And then there's a tower in the middle of the town called the Blauer Turm, the Blue Tower. It was built by the Stauffer Empire, I think. They were Swiss, and that was the farthest north that they got. Was in Bad Wimpfen. It was a big trade town in like the 1200s to the 1400s, I think. And it's beautiful out there. I've got some. If you have me on Facebook, you gotta go way back to 2011. But I got some photos where I just like still kind of jet lagged. Got up,
Way
and
back.
walked around
Wait.
town at like sunrise, and I was just like, oh my God, why did we move to Indiana? Like, why are we
Yeah.
not here?
Corn
It's just beautiful there.
for sure. Corn
Yeah.
It's gotta
Well,
be
they-
cool.
or coal
well, it's like they got
or big
like
coal.
vineyards and hops gardens growing up the sides of hills over there, and there's like a castle there, and it's like, what the hell, dude? So, but
Wearing my corn shirt today too.
oh, beautiful.
It's getting warm enough I can wear my sleeveless again. I'm all about it.
I was
know it's
into
been
them for a minute back in
70s
junior
the
high.
last 2 days.
Yeah. No tornadoes though today, right? Woo!
I don't
I'm
think
wearing
so.
shorts, and that's like a achievement.
Mm.
It's such an achievement.
I'm gonna wear a jacket for as long as I can. I always do it because I just love having pockets, especially with like work. Because I'm like, I can carry all kinds of tools in here, and it's gonna be hot for a minute. But
You know what's hot right now? Fanny packs.
I've seen that. I've seen a lot of ads for fanny packs popping up, like the Chicago Blackhawks in their desperation to get more fans because they suck really bad right now. But they're my team. I'm starting from the bottom.
What team was it?
Okay, so
Chicago
I'm
Blackhawks.
St. Louis Blues. I
Oh,
like the
shit.
Blues.
I like the Kings.
Ah.
I don't have a favorite hockey team
That's where I'm.
What,
'Cause I don't
well,
want-
what brand of
That's my
toilet
team
paper
from
do
where
I
you
don't
I'm
watch
from.
use?
hockey. Whatever kind's cheapest on Amazon, probably Amazon Basic toilet paper.
Then that's your favorite hockey team.
All right, Amazon Basics. Woo! Oh man, wow.
I'm just getting into it, but it's like, like I've done. I like sports, but I'm not a big sports guy, really. Like I watched the NBA in the '90s with my grandpa,
Oh hell yeah.
and so I saw all those Reggie moments, man. And every fourth quarter, grandpa would be like, "There goes old Reginald." Yeah, I shit
Oh
you not.
Reginald.
I shit you not. He would say that. He had a ornery sense of humor, and but and then I think it kind of. I'm not a basketball expert at all, but I think it kind of turned into a defensive game in the 2000s, and that just didn't really.
Because they were on the defense because everybody hated them. The
I
entire
don't-
NBA.
I don't know.
They were cheating.
It really
But I-
did turn into a defensive game in the
Yeah.
early 2000s.
And
Y'all are
I've-
talking about sports like I know
Yeah.
anything.
Hell yeah.
Well, I'm not that. I like a lot of the rally car racing. That's some wild stuff. I've been into motorsports off and on. Like, I mean, Mario
Is that on
Andretti was the
PlayStation?
first.
Like you have a
famous
choice,
person I
bruh.
met.
Like you have a fucking choice.
I
He-
grew up
he
in the
won-
country. Was
Well, where
not
you
gonna
live
do
now, though.
NASCAR. I live in Speedway.
Exactly. Like yeah.
I'm pretty
like,
sure-
I can hear the race.
Exactly.
Going on in my house,
Motherfuckers
so-
be like, "Oh, we're at Speedway." Fucking flying.
I think he won
time.
the Indy 500 the year I went. I can't remember who
Who?
won.
Who?
Andretti.
Oh no, he won in 1969. What year
I'm
did you
no,
go?
I'm thinking about somebody else. I'm stupid.
I was there.
I'm stupid. I'm thinking about somebody
Wait,
else.
what year?
What year?
No, I don't want to talk about it anymore.
What year was it John, that he won?
His son Marco Andretti
Maybe
almost won.
that's yeah. Maybe.
Almost. He was
Almost
he
doesn't
was
mean
duking it
shit,
out.
bruh.
He was duking it out with his
Close,
dad,
but
and
not
then
enough.
Sam Hornish came and got him right in the final stretch.
That was my birthday, and it was really fucking hot outside, and I couldn't really pay attention very much.
Like was it 2012?
No, I was 12, so that was
Okay.
like
I remember the first time I watched NASCAR on TV.
what was that? How old am I?
I thought it was stupid.
17 years ago. So 2000, like
2002.
no,
You're 29. 17.
I'm about to be 29.
Okay. So 17 minus 29.
I can't do
That
math.
might have been a Castro Neves.
Well,
win.
17. Oh,
Oh.
shit. That would have been 05. My bad.
05. That might have been Dan Weldon's first win. I can't remember. No, he wasn't until. Man, it was from like 96 to 2006. I didn't really pay attention to it because that was the IRL kart split. And look, Tony George is a name you do not mention in my house.
What was it again? I'm going to write it down.
Tony,
Next time I come over.
Tony George. So I'm not down with that.
All the
guy.
cats are going to flip the fuck out.
Yeah.
Did he just say Tony George? They run and hide.
You will die. They're vicious.
Eyes get clawed
They
out.
might be chomps.
Birds start flying into windows.
Hi, Candace.
Fucking all hell breaks loose. The moon turns red.
Wow.
She's got a
What
fanny
up,
pack.
Candace?
Hey.
I love it.
But now I didn't really pay attention to it too much then. But then 2006, that race when Marco and Michael Andretti were duking it out, that was so exciting. And I always listen to the radio if I don't go to the race. I just love how they do it. They got a guy up in each corner or each turn, and the way they just hand off to each other, it's just like, all right, yeah, this is how you do it. You know how you tell it. I think Sid Collins started that back in like maybe the 50s. He was the guy that got the radio network going though. And
I'm gonna open the door.
oh yeah, it is kind of hazy.
It's getting smoky.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
smoky as fuck.
Yeah, I can see it.
I'll be a different person after I'm done
Oh, yeah.
snacking.
Yeah,
Hi.
you're making me hungry.
I'm hungry. I've been like super
hungry,
fucking hungry
too.
the last 2 weeks.
So we got hungry and hungry too in the house.
Mhm. All right, Dad.
And you have a Pizza King in this town, which
We
I've
sure do.
my country ass has missed living in the
It's
city
OG
for
too.
12 years.
It's like one of the originals.
I can tell. I saw the sign. My heart.
Did it
started
open up your
beating.
eyes?
It did. I pulled over.
Oh no, the wit is coming.
I saw the sign and it opened up my eyes. I saw the sign.
Oh well, we're at the part of the first hour where the wit starts coming out. God damn it.
Oh, wow.
Oh wow. So John, do you play any other instruments other than the guitar, saxophone, and trombone? Just kidding.
No,
Oh,
not
that's
the trombone. I'm not Riker.
Do you play the skin flute?
No.
Oh man.
My own maybe.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh wow.
I was gonna say, I was
All
like,
right, Mr. Manson.
Oh,
son, do you masturbate? Is that what you're saying, sir?
No.
Wow.
No. A good Christian boy.
Yeah, we're not even in the third hour. We're already getting into fucking.
We're getting weird already.
We're
We
getting
gotta put the
weird.
brakes
Yeah.
on.
So, what other instruments do you play
Oh,
outside of the skin flute, trombone, saxophone, and guitar?
really, that's it. Like I dabble with keys. I love synth.
Yeah,
I
synth
love-
is cool.
Anybody can play synth. I
Not-
mean, in keyboard, I think I don't know. Like,
It's the most
I'm not-
basic form of music.
I
It's
am-
all laid out.
I'm
perfectly.
not saying that like because piano to learn that. Like I have not learned piano yet because of the ways you do that. But I'm just talking like synth and making cool sounds and just doing basic chords and whatnot. I mean, that's what I do for the most part with that. I've learned like a little bit of Chopin one time and a little bit of Rachmaninoff, just some real basic stuff to mess around with it. And I think if I had time, I could get kind of halfway decent at it, but I would by no means be a finished pianist. I mean,
Pianist. Sorry.
Pianist.
that's not in my blood.
Okay, so-
but I have mad respect for that because some of that stuff is just wow.
I want to mention that Candace said not to toot my own horn. The skin flute.
Thank you for watching on YouTube, Candace. Cheers.
Oh yeah, I just realized that's what those little
Wow.
is because she's watching on YouTube.
Watch
Very
it
excellent.
correctly.
Oh,
Yes,
Watch
I
it
need more
correctly.
followers on YouTube.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Meta gets most of our viewers.
They
But
get them
mm,
all.
yeah, for sure. If you
They
can
ask
watch
me
Not
YouTube,
all of them.
Are they asking everybody for this, or is this like a new thing? Like they're
just
asking me to like get verified.
the certification. Yeah, the
Yeah.
verification.
I'm like, I'm not gonna pay $15.
Yeah, I
What the
coughed up
fuck?
the 15 for sure.
No, I'm
Did
not
you?
doing
But
that.
No,
oh yeah,
I'm just gonna
for
go off
Instagram
it
and
if it-
Facebook.
If it goes that route, I'm gonna go off it.
Well, it's like
It's
it's really retarded. God damn it.
don't say
Not
that
the right
one.
word.
You're canceled. Do it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like any protest.
Oh,
or anything, it's
Hashtag
just
you're
like-
canceled.
Yeah.
Wow, that was like double down. No, it's actually kind of ridiculous to have it unless you're a creator. Like you're truly creating shit constantly
Yeah.
and
it's-
putting out reels, videos, memes, whatever it is.
I
it's-
love scrolling for memes every now and then, and especially like if anything that fits my dark sense of humor.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
love that, and Star Trek memes, of course.
Yes.
My big thing with the verification is that I can now like actually talk to a fucking human. Like if I got a problem,
So that gets okay. Yeah.
yeah, because I'm telling you right now, between myself and child liver, between the entity or myself, constantly flirting with fucking disaster. And every time I've ever been hit with what do you call it? Every time I've been put in jail, meta
Go
jail or
straight to
Facebook
jail.
jail or whatever,
Uh-huh.
it's always something. Just almost said it again.
Oh my god.
I'm not fucking. I was born in '83, y'all. Like, chill. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like, it's
I
just
know
one of
your
those
pain.
words.
Yeah, I mean,
that
I-
just
I
throughout
had
my
a
entire
cousin that
life.
was retarded.
I know your pain.
It's. I don't mean to say it. It's just part of my old language. But
Wow.
either way,
My generation learned better.
just
kidding.
absolutely ridiculous things. There is one thing that I've been hit for that was well deserved, and Paulie got hit for it too. There was
Because
a
you fucking tagged me in it.
yeah, my bad.
Oh
man.
my god.
So we did a Raymond Bull Don't Fit In, and we were doing these skits. They were like speed stain skits, and Paulie made a rebuttal to a video that we had made.
Oh yeah.
And when we like rebutted him, we made this picture of him, and it's like a free shot of him, and we put this penis like coming up to his face, and two different times we got hit. What's funny is the video itself, the Raymond Bull episode, did not get hit, but when we shared it, like Paulie and I both got hit for it. So that's the only time I've ever been to Facebook jail
I've got hit
appropriately.
I've got hit with
Everything
like,
else
just
is
some
bullshit.
warnings on some weird stuff. Like
Dude,
I got hit with a warning. Like I don't get
Christ.
much. It's like I thought I was offensive. I don't know,
So
but I got hit with a weird thing on this article I shared about Peter Cushing, the actor, who played Moff Tarkin in New Hope, and he was also a Hammer horror actor, but he was like into miniatures. Like, the little gaming miniatures and whatnot and models and painting one. I thought it was interesting. I shared it and that was like false news. And then like lately that meme of, the blimp wars with the balloons flying over
yeah.
and they're shooting them down. That was great memes. And they had like that F-22 or the F-35. I think it was an F-22 with a balloon kill on it. And I shared that. It's like, obviously it's a meme. Like, this is fake news. I'm like, meme, dude. Come on.
I
that's-
have
what
gone
the
to
hell,
Facebook
man?
jail for a month for
All the
saying
stuff I've seen.
I hate men.
oh yeah, that's inciting hate.
That's fucking wild.
It's inciting hate.
Okay, so I want you guys to try this social experiment. Say something bad about a man. Watch how fast it gets taken down, but watch how fast it gets taken down when you say it to a woman, because it's a lot more time than it would be
Is
for a
it?
man.
See, I don't
It's
know
a
because
lot.
I don't hate, except for that one time when I shared some Rage Against the Machine lyrics and got a month ban for
Wow.
inciting violence and rioting. It's like, what the fuck, man?
Have
It-
you?
I was just on my way to work, stopped at the gas station, and the song Know Your Enemy. And I quoted the second verse of that. And it's a beautifully written song. I mean, it's all a little bit tongue in cheek because if you don't know No, it wasn't Know Your Enemy. It was what's the one that they did out in front of the it was, I think it was the Supreme Court. No, it was in front of the fucking stock exchange. They made a video out in front, and either way, the whole song's about greed. It's all about greed and money in this country, and God, it's gonna piss me off until I figure out what the name of that.
Piss you off. I am
I
dropping
know
truth
that
bombs
feeling.
about the patriarchy.
You see that
Thank
Married
you,
with
Candace.
Children episode where Al Bundy was trying to figure out the name of that song? It was like him.
Oh
Kept
yeah,
humming
yeah.
that over and over.
Oh man, it's gonna piss me off. It's not on the one with Bulls on Parade. It's the one after that. I don't know. I'm sure somebody out there knows what the fuck I'm talking about. But
What is this man talking about?
I was into
Tell him.
Rage, but they weren't like my as far as like
the guitar.
There's two bands that I see as like your big political bands. That's Rage Against the of the 90s, Rage Against the Machine, and Body Count. And I was more into Body Count because I love that thrash sound.
Ice-T, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Ice-T is that dude is interesting. He's been down so many different avenues, so many different experiences. And the dude, you know, I follow him on Instagram and I've been a fan of his for a while. I think he's a pretty grounded guy. You know, I don't necessarily say he's, you know, I don't worship any celebrities or anything like that, but he's got an interesting perspective.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I dated a chick that loved SVU.
Mhm.
Dun dun. So every time I think of IC, I always think of that. I've seen like
especially heinous.
Man. Well, I inside joke, but I always reference that show. I never call it that. I always call it rape, murder, kill. Oh, a new episode of Rape, Murder, Kill. Sweet.
RMK.
Like,
I was into it for a little bit back in the 2000s.
I really liked. There was this one, and it was like it was like their ghost, and like their ghost like led them through their body. It was like Cold Case. I think it was called Cold Case, and like it would tell their story as it went, like, you know, with it. I was like, I like this one. I love it when like in film or like they do like that flashback.
Yeah,
that gets my.
Speaking of flashback, the name of that song is "Sleep Now in the Fire."
Ooh.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much about greed. One. So, yeah. One of my favorite political bands, come on, System of a Down.
Yeah, I love System of a Down.
It's great.
I
love
it. I especially, it's not like I love the song, but I loved like going to a party. I'd show up at a party in like 2004, and I hear BYOB. It's like everybody's going to the party,
have a real good time.
Dancing in the desert. The whole song is protesting the war in Iraq. And nobody at these parties had any idea this what the fuck they were talking about. They just hear partying and the name of the song's BYOB, and it's like, no, you're not paying attention. Listen to the fucking words. But I don't know. I always thought that was really
like,
interesting.
When I first heard that song, I was like little. I mean, I guess I was like 4th grade or whatever, and I was like, yes, why don't the presidents fight the war? Why do they always send the poor? That's what woke me up.
Woke. That's a modern word right there. Do you have any
Also, I want to say another song that did that for me was The Clash. Oh fuck, why can't I think of it right now? This is like one of my favorite songs too. It always does this to me, my brain. Wait a second. I want to look it up because I'm stupid. I know this song. I listen to this song all the fucking time too, and I can't hear it. But it woke me up.
John, do you have a favorite System of a Down song while she's checking that out?
Not really a favorite System of a Down song. I'm not like a mega fan of theirs, but anytime they come on the radio, I love them. And like every single one, like I've listened to all the albums, but not like regularly enough to be familiar with them. So I don't know if they might have something that's like experimental to what their main sound is that I'm not really that aware of. I've probably heard it.
I know the song. I'm stupid. It's Straight to Hell.
Straight to Hell.
That song hooked me up too. I was like, oh, it's just about the Vietnam War. I was like, oh shit.
I was actually watching that. I was watching that film last night about Vietnam War with Tom Cruise. That's Oliver Stone won Best Film for it. Born on the 4th of July. I watched that last night, actually. First album though, for sure, System of a Down. Spider's probably my favorite track.
Awesome, Craig.
Mm-hmm. What do you say now?
Yeah.
He said Run Up covers that.
Run Up is an awesome local band.
A.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
Probably one of the best.
yeah. Those guys are pretty tight.
Those guys are pretty tight.
Yeah, Dave's a great writer, no doubt about it.
Dave's a fun dude to jam with. I did a couple covers with him. Cover tribute. We did we did Soundgarden, not a couple, but we did that Soundgarden one. Yeah, can I have that?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
We did the Soundgarden thing. That was like me, Casey, Hubert, and Scotty Burke, and we did.
Where is the 6th beer? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
He's got 3. I got 1.
Yep, I've got
got
one.
whiskey.
Where's the
Oh,
Yeah,
there's one.
Polly.
I
Why don't
think
you
there's-
just send that over?
There was
I
one in
will.
the trash.
Here you
I
go.
think.
Pour it into the mic. Bro.
Wow.
Well, shit, man. We lost the beer.
Wah, wah.
But hell yeah, look at that. In 1 hour, we smashed a 6-pack. I'm gonna go
Shit.
ahead and grab a beer from the refrigerator.
I want it to be
You
Stormy
mean
again.
the heat box?
The heat box. Yeah, I don't know if it's working, as I was telling you earlier.
I'm bringing
No.
a refrigerator over next time.
Can you also bring some like Angry Orchards?
What do I look like? An orchard manufacturer?
An orchard manufacturer.
Can you bring some of your
Are you an
angriest-
orchard keeper?
Yes, can you please bring
that
some,
was much better, Shep. Good job.
bring some of your angriest orchards to this garage?
You rule, Craig.
Be real. Be for real. Jeez. Oh shit. Cold beer.
So, Trousers, when can we expect to see this new project out on the streets?
Oh, I don't know when. I mean, we gotta really. It's just. Sorry, I am being a little bitch, and I can't get my beer open with my lighter.
I'm making fun of you as if like I don't have this same problem.
No, I usually get them open fine, but no, Daddy Shep took care of me.
Oh.
But now we've been
It's Big
Talking
Daddy
of-
Shep to you, sir.
talking about working on getting a
BDS?
show,
Papa
but,
Chef.
but part of me wants to like go all out and just like have the whole light show and just like throw, just like a one-off thing. But I mean, really, it's just like the guys I've been jamming with, just how life has gone with. We got some illness that happened with some of the guys. Someone's having a kid. Me, I've got some life changes going on too. Really, it's kind of we're figuring that out right now. But so it's like trying to find the time for it, and also trying to keep my recording rig updated, because that's kind of like the nerve center of this project as we're like coming up with ideas, because we have so little time to do it. So luckily we've got this stuff to just all this recording gear I've accumulated over the years. Like I've been playing for 27 years now, I think. So, and a lot of this stuff was back when I was employed and I had money, and
Hey.
and yeah, and before prices went way up on shit. Like I went and sold a guitar at the Indiana Guitar Show. Like these two dudes came up to me right away, and I could tell they were total hustlers, but there's like I'm pretty good at reading body language for the most part, but there's like a genuine interest, because what I brought in was not anything flashy, but a little unique. It was a Gibson aluminum case, and I had a white studio LP inside of it. And I'm not really like a Gibson guy, but I end up with Gibsons all the time. My guitar is my main is a 339 custom with a 59 Les Paul neck on it. I named it Isabella after the Jimi Hendrix song. It's a semi-hollow body. I've always loved that. Ted Nugent is a guy that I don't know about him. Let's put it that way. But back in the day, that dude understood the power behind a hollow body and some other interesting techniques with it. But there's a couple others. But that's the Chuck Berry played a 335. You know, Back to the Future, Johnny Be Good, when he breaks that out, which I think that's historically inaccurate. I think that guitar came out in 58.
Oh yeah,
Not
that's right. Yeah,
55.
I read about that.
And so, no, then it wouldn't have been a 335. That well, I'm not going to ramble on about that.
Models of Les Paul or Gibson guitars.
Well,
yeah.
I'm not an expert
It's,
on it. You know, I
it's
just kind of
impressive that
dabble
you
on it.
know that much about them.
Well, I had a 135. That was
Isn't
like
the
a deep hollow
335 a
body.
dot? Don't they call it a dot? The 335 is a dot. I thought.
You
I thought it
that's-
was a dot.
I think that regards
Thought
the
that.
fretboard inlays, but I may be wrong.
I don't
about
fucking
that.
know.
I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a Gibson guy, but I end up with Gibson guitars because I just.
So what's your go-to, Fender?
No, I had a couple Fenders. I like Telecasters. Those are
Oh
pretty
yeah, I
cool.
like Telecasters. too.
I had a Jag Stang. That was my first guitar, the Kurt Cobain one.
Mm.
Oh no, what is that?
No.
That's not a Jaguar, is it?
No,
That's
it's
a
not.
Mustang.
No, it's not a Jaguar. It's a Jag Stang. It was like a combination of a
Mhm.
Jaguar and a Mustang. That
Did you
Kurt-
smash it?
Yeah, pretty much. It was like body styles. And the thing I loved about that guitar was when you held it, it was perfectly balanced for me. Like it was the only guitar one of the few guitars I've ever had where it just like the neck just floated right there.
That's what she said.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah, it's like that.
oh.
It's like that. But the electronics sucked on that thing. I mean, it was honest to God, it was a terrible guitar. But that was my first one, and you know that hollow body is my favorite now. But I have a couple of studios.
I can't handle the fucking feedback, man. I had a Telly thin line, and it was just too much.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had a Ibanez knockoff 335 too. The feedback is too much, man.
I used to have a 70s Ibanez knockoff
I know.
335.
Hardcore, whatever.
It was a ES 100. I can't remember what it was, but the pickups, they had that finger that was like shaped like this and had butterfly wings on it.
Okay, yeah.
That was a cool guitar, and that was one I ended up selling it to buy the one I have now. So I was like, this one's really cool, and that was my main one. But then I was like, no, this and I don't regret it. I don't regret it. I still feel good about that. And yeah, selling a guitar sometimes it's like,
Dude,
you know how it is.
Dude, I know how it is, man. I have sold like almost everything I have musically. I still have the piano, which is on sale right now, by the way. I have a Yamaha dope ass piano for sale. I paid like $2.5 for it. But yeah, check out my shit.
Check it out.
Come out here and pick this bad boy up. It's beautiful. Sounds great. But I've been
It's an awesome.
Yeah.
piece.
I've sold almost everything I've got, and there is an amp that I have not let go of because I can't. It's one of those.
Yeah.
It's actually, if you look, can you see it? No, you can't see it, but maybe if I change that angle a little bit. Right
Yeah, that's it.
there. It's a Marshall 310. Right.
What do you do? I
there.
can't see what you're doing. Okay.
Yeah, so John and I used to be in a band called there's John. Hi, John.
Oh,
hi.
Let me pull this back up. We used to be in a band called Big Balls. We were ACDC
I
tribute.
like big balls.
Bon
That's
Scott
right.
era
I forgot about
only.
that.
He likes.
And I didn't have an amp at the time, and he was kind enough to give me this dope ass Marshall 310 amp, and I still have it, and I cannot sell it. So it's one of those things. I'll have it forever. So it needs tubes. I gotta get some tubes in it. All right,
Oh yeah, that thing's those have a notorious overheat problem.
Oh yeah,
The
yeah.
JTM
That's what
combo
happened.
reissues.
Yeah.
I bought one that was completely fucked, and I bought it on a gamble because I was like, I think I can get this fixed and sell it for more. And so I sent it up to Kevin Silva through my favorite guitar shop, Six Strings Down, over in Plainfield. I've been going to that place since I pretty much started playing, and Dave's been in business ever since then. He's a pretty older guy. He kind of looks like, if you're familiar with the guitar player from Steely Dan, Jeff Skunk Baxter. He's got that Fu Manchu. And Dave looks exactly like him.
Fu Manchu. Love it.
Great shop. That dude, I've watched people come in there and like with didn't have money or families that were like, and this dude is just like pretty much give shit away.
Mm-hmm.
Practice guitars. I mean, these are Squires. This dude deals with some really cool shit, and he's into he's an old school guy. He's got, he's a big Allman Brothers fan. And I don't want to like drag him into conversation too much. I don't know if he wants me to mention him on here, but
Was he a rambling man?
definitely. But that shop has been like the nerve center. Like I've learned so much from just talking to people. Like my college years, I spent so much time in there that he was like, "Oh, what are you doing in here again?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I am kind of coming here every day. I don't know." but yeah, that was very fortunate to have that. Definitely, I didn't realize until I got older how lucky I was to have that. So. That was a pretty cool experience. There's a lot of other great shops around here too. I've stopped in at, been to like Arthur's Music and stopped. That place is pretty cool.
Hell yeah, I've shopped there a couple times.
Mhm.
Pick up strings and whatnot. I think we lost Paulie,
Wow, where'd he go?
and he's gone.
Where'd he come from? Where'd he go?
I think he got hit by a tornado.
Oh,
We'll just go full
how
until
long?
he shows back up. So yeah, now we got look at that. Look at all that big old screens. So John, over the years, do you have a favorite show that you've played?
Favorite show that I've played. I'd have to say we did a a CD. Wayne Burst actually did the cover art.
Yeah,
for
he
us.
mentioned earlier that you've done that.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not following this thing at all. I'm trying not to look at it because, like I said earlier, it's like I'm looking at myself in the past with the lag on the video replay. That's not too bad.
Yeah, it's pretty accurate.
Yeah,
But
there.
yeah, he did that for us. It was cool, and that was a fun show. We got to play with Tracksuit Lifestyle.
Yeah,
And I love Phoenix on the Fault Line. They're the ones that gave me the nickname Trousers. That's how I got that. When I wore these, I used to wear these big flare pants. I was big into that, like the bell bottom type stuff. And I had like one of the first pairs I had like this psychedelic print on it. And I was just like, I'll wear these out tonight. It was a like Midwest State of Mind, Phoenix on the Fault Line. I can't remember who else, but Ron Jeremy was there that night. It was
Oh my
like
gosh.
2014 at the Vogue. And I remember I was like, this won't be. I have a few people say something, but whatever. I just, I like them. I want to wear them. So literally everybody was like, "Oh my God, your pants!" What? I'm like, yeah. There were some people that were very forward with me too. But anyways, Phoenix on the Fault Line are playing, and Tyler's up there, and he's like, he looks at me and goes, "You get those fucking pants on this fucking stage right fucking now."
Because those pants on the stage.
That's how it happened. Like,
Trousers was born.
yeah, it's accident, pure accident. Just a bad fashion choice for the night, really. But
I'll never forget that night. Oh God, he fucking came to the Mel. He came to Punk Rock Night after that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ron Jeremy.
Yeah, it was an unfortunate night of. Mm-hmm.
you know how I
Mhm.
felt like that night. I got a photo with him that night. But
Y'all got him nice and drunk, and then he came up there and caused all kinds of problems and issues.
it was for like 10 seconds I got to meet him. Then that night he came to the Mill. I went there that night. It was like 2018, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, at first I was like, Ron Jeremy's at the Mill. And I was like, Ron
Mm.
Jeremy's at the Mill. This is ugh.
Yeah, Craig.
I
I
wanna
was gonna
see
say
this.
if Craig's watching,
I
he's
wanna
gonna be
see
chiming
this.
in. Yeah, he brought him there.
I was like, I want to see this. So I went. I was like, it'll be interesting at
Oh my
least.
God.
And it was, unfortunately.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
Oh no.
the woman's bathroom will never be the same.
I left early.
I wish I could have, but I could not.
That was back when I used to stay at
It's
the
funny.
Mill until like 7 a.m. and
It's-
I left at like 11 p.m.
Yeah, it's that night. It's happened only a few times where I got pulled aside, but Dave and Rob both pulled me aside that night. And they're like, "Hey, we need you to be Ron Jeremy's like guide, like take care of him and make sure
shit.
he's okay and blah 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 blah." And I was like, "Okay, whatever." I'm the photographer. Like, I ain't really got time for all that, but
Mhm.
you know, I showed him the smoker's garden and I checked on him a couple times. But once he went into the women's bathroom for the first time, I was like, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Oh.
Like, I'm not. I'm good. I'm out. He was so fucking sloshed too. Like, he showed up drunk as fuck.
He looked messed up.
He was
Like,
fucked.
I saw him sitting there.
Yeah.
He was just like, it was disturbing, honestly. I still have trauma from that, I think.
Oh yeah,
Like, I can smell it.
from seeing Ron Jeremy.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
let's switch to the one time that somebody showed up and it was awesome. Wee Man showed up
Oh tight.
and he was
Oh,
cool as
shit.
shit. Man, these cameras, man, they be hating.
I love to do.
Yeah, that was cool as fuck, man. When Wee Man showed up, he was nice. He took photos with everybody.
Mhm.
He didn't grope any women or do
I've always
anything
heard
fucked
Wee
up.
Man was awesome. I've never
He's
met
a cool
him,
dude, man.
so
He's cool.
that's tight.
Yeah. It freaked me out because like I was at the bar when he came in and I did not see, for obvious reasons, I did not see him. And there's all this commotion. And I'm just standing in line at the bar trying to get a drink. And basically I did not realize that he was there until he was standing next to me. And I literally looked down to my left and was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
I was like, what's up, dude? You want to take a shot? He's like, no more shots. No more shots. But he was really cool and he's nice to everybody. And he took photos with everybody. And he's just positive energy, you know?
Yeah.
He wasn't
He seems like
Gross.
a pretty cool dude. I get good vibes off of him.
gross like the person we were talking about before.
Oh,
Oh,
no. I don't want anything to do with that guy. But
yeah.
hey, I mean, I went and bared witness. Is not a good witness.
Yeah. So do you have a least favorite show you've ever played? There's gotta be one.
We played the Emerson one time.
Oh,
This
how many times am I gonna ask that question? And that's the line that comes out of somebody's
Oh.
mouth.
It has absolutely nothing to do with the Emerson.
Okay. Okay.
Here's what happened. This was right when we started playing, and one of the guys wanted us to play this show where this band called Chon were playing. They're like a progressive. They're kind of like Nintendo music.
Mhm.
You know, I listened to that. It's interesting, but I wasn't big on it, and it was like one of those. It was like you have to sell 25 tickets. It's a Monday night show. I'm like, dude, this is our 5th show. We're not going to sell 25 tickets on a Monday night, even if Ben promises his friends that came out to our first 3 shows free beer. They're going to be like, it's Monday, dude. We're still recovering from Saturday, bro. So I was like, I have nothing to do with this. He's like, I'll pay for it. So I was like, okay, that's fine. And I guess he paid for it because we ended up playing. But the drummer forgot his drum throne. And then another guy forgot that he only played acoustic guitar on like one song, and he forgot that 9-volt batteries run out. But
That they do.
Oh.
and it was Monday. It was Monday. I did not really want to do it. Ultimately, I was like, I don't want to play a show on Monday. Like if I may, Hubert was talking about playing on Conan with Margot and the Nuclear So-and-So's one time, and the way he described it was like they got up at 5 a.m. because they had to get a cheap hotel in New Jersey. They had to take the bus to the studio and go through all kinds of security, and then it's like 11 a.m. on the pre-recorded stuff when you do it, and it's just like, I mean that's cool. I'm not knocking it at all, but like it's fucking wild. But that's like just weird thinking. Getting up at 5 a.m. to go play music at 11 a.m. that I'm like, I'm so I have different moods. Like as night comes, I'm
Sure.
more like that's like when I get in a recording binge and I'm just like writing stuff and I'm in that right mood, I'll go for like 12 hours into like 5 or 6 a.m. and it's not funny, but it kind of is. I gave myself a seizure one time because I didn't eat much food. And then I got home and I was just recording until like 6, 7 a.m. It's right before Thanksgiving. And I was like getting ready to go out and go Thanksgiving shopping. I was like, my dumb ass have not slept or ate. I was like, well, I'll have a little glass of wine before I go. I took a sip of that and then like had like a little like weird like glycemic, probably like nothing serious, but it was just kind of like, oh shit. You know, I got some like I don't want to like be all turn this into a health conversation. I got some stomach problems where I'm like real sensitive to sugar. It's nothing to do with my blood sugar or anything, but Gotta be careful about how much I eat. That's why I found this recipe for blueberry muffins that has like no sugar in it. So that's like my side thing is like
You're doing that keto.
I love baking. Love baking. And I found this great recipe with like oatmeal, honey, and cinnamon for like the seasoning and blueberry muffins. It's great. I love it. I have
Ooh.
one sitting in my truck ready for me when I leave, actually.
Hell yeah.
I have one waiting for me.
I have one waiting.
So now's a good leeway. We're gonna go ahead and play a video from our sponsors at Punk Rock Night, and I'm gonna go take a piss.
Looking for something to do Saturday night? Do you like punk rock? Well, look no further. Every Saturday night is Punk Rock Night at the Melody Inn. The best local, regional, and touring acts hit the stage every Saturday for an amazing time. Check punkrocknight.com for details, or follow us on all the social medias to get weekly updates on what's going on. Doors are 8 p.m., shows start at 9 p.m. It's a bar, folks, so you have to be at least 21 to join in on the fun. And hey, there's free parking. Plus, every Thursday we present the PRN Live Feed Show, where we talk about last week's show, preview this week's show, and announce all the big things we have coming up. Punk Rock Night, a proud sponsor of Chopped Liver.
It was very nice to meet you. Hello, Polly.
Hey,
You're back. Woo! What's going on?
yeah.
In the world?
So I got this Samsung Galaxy S20 or whatever. I've had it for 2 years. It's the longest I've ever had any fucking cell phone. And I'm starting to have troubles with it the last couple of weeks.
Oh, I feel that one with my iPhone.
So Polly's going to be buying a new phone real soon.
Okay. You're going to get the S22?
Yeah, I don't know.
Does that exist? Probably.
I don't know what I'll end up getting, but it probably won't be an iPhone.
Oh, I have the iPhone 11. Wow.
How's the mic sound? Because it's like blaring in my shit.
You sound good.
I'm adjusting it.
All
it.
right.
Yeah. We're good. How'd it go? How was the break? I went and pissed.
The video played just fine.
Awesome.
Love it.
Yep. So we're into our second hour now. That was a video from our sponsors at Punk Rock Night, because every Saturday night at the Melody Inn is Punk Rock Night.
Punk Rock Night!
So we were talking about John's favorite and least favorite shows that he's played over time. John, what is your favorite new metal band, and why isn't Limp Bizkit? LD50.
I don't really consider that a new metal album, but I get it. I don't know.
You did it all for the nookie.
The Nookie.
I don't have any problems.
So you
with
could
Limp
take that
Bizkit.
cookie.
I'm
Just shove it up your shove it up your
I'm not too big on them, but I mean, I appreciate it for what it is. And Fred Durst, when he had like the toupee and
looking
looking majestically out the windows, like he looked like he was about to take you across the Chesapeake Bay on his yacht to his vineyard. I was like,
Oh,
that was
I feel like you had a dream about that.
like
yeah, that sounds familiar.
that was his dad vibe.
His dad vibe. I want to go on a boat and go to a vineyard. Tight.
So not into new metal. Got it.
He did not do it all for the nookie.
Look, LD50 did us new metal with Seinfeld bass lines. So
Sorry, I just think about
pretty much, yeah.
Do it. Can you do it?
All right, Trousers, what's your favorite riff guitar? Like if you're going to get on stage and just kind of warm up and test the sound, what would you play?
It would be, if you're a Muse fan, you'll get it. It's Plug-in Baby. It's Toccata and Fugue in D minor. You know the song that starts.
Yep.
And after that, it's based off of that. After that, I can't remember what it is. Like I said,
Doo-doo.
I'm stupid. I don't know music theory, but it's like this is like chromatic walk up, and that's what Plug-in Baby is. And the thing I love about that song is I'm going to talk about this is about me, right?
Mm-hmm.
About me. So I'm going to talk about my favorite band real quick, which is
Muse.
I've that's why I went to England. That's why I went to England, was to see Muse. I saw him at Wembley Stadium in 2010, and that was such a last minute trip. I spent stupid amounts of money to expedite a passport so I could go there like 3 weeks before the concert. Bought a ticket, ended up, and I already paid for my hotel. It was at Harrow University, which is in Northwest London, and landed in Heathrow with like 140 pounds in my pocket. So I'm like, this has to last me for 4 days in London, and it did, because I like just like they have a dollar store there. It's called Poundland.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why don't they call it Pound Town?
Pound.
Poundland.
so I lived off of like granola bars basically, but no, that was great. I met a few people there off of the Muse message boards that ended up becoming great friends, and then I went back to see them at Reading Festival in 2011. I met Chris Wolstenholme in passing, the bass player, who I love his bass playing. Like that's what makes up the Muse songs. You listen to that bass, it's like Jesus Christ. And what he did after shows,
Family Pound.
Muse almost broke up because Chris had a really bad alcohol problem in 2008, 2009. But his problem was he was away from his family and didn't know what to do after shows, so he just drank. So what he started doing was setting up soccer matches, football matches, as they call it.
Feetball.
Well, I mean, our football is like hand egg.
Hand egg.
But
yes.
They played this match and we went to it, and then I had to go to the bathroom, and I was walking up to the rec center, and he was walking out with his family, and just as he walked past, I go, "Hey Chris, great gig last night." He said, "Oh, thanks, mate." And it's like it's kind of cool. So
Hell yeah. That's awesome, man.
but no, I've seen them there, and at Reading Festival is my favorite concert of all time. They played Origin of Symmetry, which is like yeah, old school Muse fans. It's one of their best albums. It sounds phenomenal. They put out a remixed version for their 20th anniversary, and I got it on vinyl, and oh my god, you can hear so much more in it because it's such a rough mix back in the day, I think. And they were on mushrooms for half of the album when they wrote it. Like the latter half of the album, Matt Bellamy said they ate mushrooms and went back into the hot tub and started writing all this stuff. But
that sounds like a fun, productive way to write music. Just do mushrooms and get in a hot tub.
Every time I've done mushrooms,
I would
something
love to
creative
be in a
comes
hot
out.
tub and also on mushrooms at the same time. That would be fun.
I've never done mushrooms.
Never.
never.
It's just in theory. I would like to,
Oh,
but I
man.
have not.
I have no idea. Who's Timothy Leary?
Somebody
Some
with a
guy-
last name.
Some guy from the 60s, you know.
Who is he?
I don't know. I feel leery about it.
Oh, my touch. Oh, it's getting mucky now.
So I feel like it's time to adventure on beyond. I feel like we're talking about shrooms already. John, do you have a favorite hallucinogenic experience you'd like to tell everybody at home
Oh man.
or wherever they might be watching this? Maybe they're at work.
I'm a big fan of psychedelics. I think they're great antidepressants. I will freely admit I've microdosed mushrooms before. I don't have a problem saying that. It's not for everybody, but it's worked for me very well. Like just a little bit every once in a blue moon.
I wish they would make that just medical everywhere.
Oh,
Yeah.
by the time you're in your 50s or we're in
When
our
I'm-
60s, for sure. It'll be.
I'm gonna be retiring. We're gonna go do shrooms today, honey.
I like I said, I got this. I don't want to go on about. I got this weird stomach thing. It's IBS is the term for it. It's irritable bowel syndrome, but it's really an umbrella term. I think is how they're looking at it right now. It's kind of interesting.
It
Kurt
stands for
Cobain allegedly suffered
shit.
from
Yeah, that's why he had his addiction. It's because his stomach pain was so bad.
it. Yeah. The Michael Azerrad biography was really good about chronicling that. I thought. He
Which one was that one called?
that was Come As You Are. The
Come As You
biographer.
Are. I really like it was like Soaked in Bleach. That was a good one.
I haven't read that one.
Yeah.
But I kind of got Nirvana was my big band when in the 90s when I started playing guitar. In fact, I took guitar lessons at Mooresville Music, and I had 10 lessons with this one dude, and he showed me the basics, gave me this tab book, and then I spent that whole summer printing off guitar tabs of Nirvana and learning Nirvana. That was basically how I learned how to play guitar, and lost my hearing listening to the Muddy Banks of the Wishka album with earbuds in at full volume.
Fuck yeah, that was my
So
first.
that was yeah, that's where I got that's what really spawned me, I guess, with guitar playing. So
I still want to learn how to play an instrument. I still have not learned. I should have learned in high school and stuff, but I was and when I was in high school, I didn't have time for that shit, dude. I kept moving. I went to 4 different high schools in 2 years. So I didn't even get to get accustomed to anything.
yeah.
Yeah.
I worked throughout high school. So
I started playing instruments in grade school.
I painted. That's
Yeah.
what I did.
Yeah, I started playing piano. I was like 8.
I was doing
Yeah.
pop art stuff, like Roy Lichtenstein. What?
No, nothing. It's, I
The
heard,
birds?
I heard
no,
it
I
too.
heard an animal cry. Probably it sounded. I thought it sounded like a cat, but
No, it was too deep for a cat.
you think so? It's
Yeah.
probably one of them coyotes out there.
Might be. Those coyotes make weird noises.
Oh, dude, yeah, they sound like yeah,
yeah.
That's
Yeah,
my
exact-
best.
they sound like screaming women.
Wow.
Like yeah,
I could.
No,
I could.
it sounds like
I've heard-
turtles.
I've heard the death of so many rabbits out here. It's wild. This is rabbit country.
This is rabbit. You can't stop here. It's rabbit country.
Yeah, I actually at one point I was sitting on my front porch smoking a cigarette, and there's so many rabbits. I counted. It was like 30 something rabbits.
Oh,
I was
no
like,
kidding.
Wow.
Shit.
so many rabbits.
They a rabbit orgy.
What was your first concert?
My first concert. So we're talking thousands of people, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Like legit, like music concert, because I saw
Oh, man.
some
So,
music things as
It's
younger, but it wasn't like
so
a concert
appropriate to ask me that question, John, because my first actual concert ever was Kid Rock. The guy that really hates beer. So idiot.
we should have had Bud Light on the show.
Yeah, actually, no. I went to the liquor store to get cigarettes because they got that cheap. You know what I'm saying?
That cheap,
like
yeah.
$4 pack. And I was like, I wonder if they got that beer. I'm gonna grab some Bud Light just to prove a point. Like, fuck you, Kid Rock, fucking idiot.
Fucking
But-
He's a
idiot.
rich kid that
So,
co-opted the whole redneck
Real
thing.
life Joe Dirt
my
ass
buddy-
motherfucker.
It's like
Joe Dirt
there
ass
was again. I
is-
heard
is
that
better.
shit again. I'm telling you, it's not a bird. There's something out there.
I'll
probably-
go. You want me to go look and get a
It's
tag?
probably Dogman.
Dogman.
Dogman. Carter Seaton's at home like this.
It's gotta be.
motherfucker.
I hope it's Mothman. I hope
Mothman
Lindsay
be
brought.
dope.
Didn't you say once you wanted to be impregnated by him?
No, I
Mothman?
didn't. I said I wanted to fuck him. I didn't say I wanted to
Wow.
be impregnated by Mothman.
Like, you gotta.
Wow.
Holy shit.
Wow.
All right. Why isn't there any female why is it Dogman? Why is it it's always male entities? Mothman, Dogman. There's no females. What's up with
I don't know,
that?
there's
Because males are
bees,
Yeah.
completely
Okay.
evil.
Okay.
Mermaids,
mermaids, yes.
Sirens.
All right,
Yeah,
all right.
sirens.
Yeah,
Alright.
the fairy, the fae,
Mhm.
the fae. There's also what is it called? When they scream, she screams. Oh, freaking banshees. There's female banshees.
Mhm.
Yeah, banshees.
My mom.
My mom.
Dude, my mom commented, probably lying, John. What we were talking about soon. You don't know shit, mom.
You don't know shit, mom.
You know shit about fuck. No.
Yeah.
It was Kid
You say
Rock.
that now because you know she's probably not watching now.
Oh,
It's like 30 minutes later.
It was
can you ground him, Melinda?
she could try.
She can try.
Good luck. It was Kid Rock, Power Man 5000,
Oh my
and
God.
Tenacious D. And look, I'm not a fan of Kid Rock. That album was a good album, Devil Without a Cause. I'll give him that. He's currently a piece of shit. But for all the concerts that I've been to in my lifetime, I have never seen so many titties in my life. It was there were people fucking basically.
Wow.
They had strippers on the stage tossing out fifths of fucking whiskey to people in the crowd.
Love that.
That's back when Josie was still kicking it too.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my first concert. It was at that wherever the fucking Pacers used to play.
Market Square Arena.
No. It was like
Baker's Live.
Yeah,
No, it's
whatever.
either Baker's
Game
called
House
Conseco.
Field.
Conseco.
Conseco.
Jose
Conseco.
Conseco Field House or something.
That's where they're at now.
I don't fucking know.
It's
But
had like 8
I know
names.
this. I know this. It was crazy.
Crazy.
I've
shit.
seen one concert there.
Wow.
Yeah, it was actually pretty cool. It was the Up in Smoke tour, 2001.
Who? Up in Smoke. That sounds like Mafia.
So it was when they did the Chronic 2001 album. So it was obviously Dre, Snoop, Q,
Wow.
Eminem was there.
Slim Shady.
Slim Shady.
The Marshall Mathers.
Yeah, it was actually a really good fucking concert, dude. And at the time, I had a '88 IROC Z28, and
Hell yeah.
at the end of it, you know how they got that fucking parking garage attached to Conseco Fieldhouse. So like, we're coming down the ramp, and we get out onto Washington Street, and like this fucking MC club or whatever the fuck it was, like completely surrounded my IROC, and like we just are jetting down Washington Street, and they're like fucking doing wheelies and shit, and like on both sides of me, out in front of me. And so I'm kind of like getting this escort from this MC club, you know, they all got their leathers on and shit. It was really fucking rad. I mean, it was kind of a cool experience to have. There was people burning weed inside of Conseco Fieldhouse, and at this time it was like brand new. You know what I mean? Like I'm pretty sure no one had ever smoked weed inside of Conseco Fieldhouse at this point until that night. You know, but yeah, it was an excellent fucking concert.
Did your grandma do it one time? Is she now a juggalo?
Huh?
What?
You never
Say
seen that
what?
meme? It's like grandma did one marinara and now she's a juggalo.
Right. Yeah, no, I mean, like, there was this old man that was next to me, like, it just lit up a blunt. It's like, fuck yeah, dude. It reminded me of the time I went to a concert. I seen Bone Thugs at the Pepsi Coliseum back in the, like, mid-90s. And there was all kinds of chaos that broke out in that. I don't know why I'm getting a lot of feedback in my headphones, so I keep taking them out. It's really driving me nuts.
Oh, sorry. Here you go.
Hey, remember
You can have these.
Remember that one time that
Who's
you
that?
and I went to the Colts game, Paulie, and we smoked a big old fat joint outside. And came in?
I still tell that story all the time, dude.
Dude, like 2 seats down from us, it was like at first we thought he was like being a dick, but once we realized what was happening, he was like, damn, I wish I'd known y'all were out there doing what you smell like or something like that. And like literally everybody in our section just started busting out laughing. We smelled so bad. God damn. It was some good weed too, bro.
It was, man. Like you look around and everybody's just like, yeah, we see how red your eyes are.
Yeah, dude. Like you could smell us a mile away. I've never been like more slightly, not really, but kind of a little embarrassed. Like, oh fuck, it was. You know what? It's not that we smelled like weed or that like literally everybody was laughing with us in that moment. It's the fact that we didn't realize like how bad we smelled like fucking weed, man.
No, we had no clue.
I heard an animal crying right now.
See, that's what I'm saying, dude. I keep hearing it too. Makes me
I hope
wonder,
it's a man bear pig. Part
real.
man, part bear,
Man, bear
part
pig,
pig.
for real. So real.
So real, super cereal.
I actually like part of me wants to go check, but how's the show gonna carry on?
If you die,
Yeah, what if I die? I don't
AI.
even I don't even have my
AI.
AI. Yeah,
AI.
Yeah, that's it.
a
Yeah.
We got
hologram, Shep.
Chat.
The Shepagram.
Shepagram. Yeah.
The Shepagram.
Watch though. And
Shep GT.
Shep GT GPT. Watch his cat's gonna walk up in this motherfucker.
It's
any
gonna
minute.
come to me because I'm like they're.
We've had it
attracted to
happen.
me.
There was a cat once that came up in here, sitting on Polly's lap.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
I would
pretty
love
funny.
that. Let me just go ahead and.
John, did you tell us your first concert ever?
No, it was Pantera at the Pepsi Coliseum in 2001.
Oh, Pantera. They're like
Oh,
Fleetwood Mac but of the 80s, right?
man, that'd be a hell of a place to see Pantera.
It was
My first concert.
terrifyingly awesome. It was
How terrifying.
well, I was 15 years old. I was about 5'5" and
Oh,
weighed
shit.
about 110 pounds.
Craig was there with you, baby. Craig Meanish was there. Or Craig Chaos, whatever.
Morbid Flying Soul Angel.
With typo.
Oh no,
negative.
that was a different one. It was Morbid Flying Soul Angel. That
God damn
opened
it,
this
Craig.
one.
You made me interrupt him for what?
Wow.
You're fired,
But
Craig.
I don't know where they're at, but I've got a couple pics that Dimebag threw out in the crowd. And my what I did was they were originally going to play there in November of the previous year, but Rex Brown broke his ribs on stage, and so it was delayed until March. And then my mom was like, "No, you're not going. You're not going." Even though I'd spent my money on it and whatnot, I'm not going. Well, my friend was going, and his friend's dad was taking him, and I was like, "Fuck it!" I snuck out of the house, and I went down. We lived in a cul-de-sac on one of those little rural subdivisions,
Mhm.
and I just walked down to the end of cul-de-sac. Said, "Yeah, pick me up at the end of the road. I'll be there." And they picked me up, and we went to the Pepsi Coliseum, and I mean, it was awesome. And like looking back on live, I mean, I know people have problems with that bands, and I don't really care for Phil Anselmo or what he said, but nonetheless, the music, as far as like what it meant to me at that time, like hating on Phil Anselmo has been like a quarter of a century hobby for me. So get in line. But that band, how they sounded, it was just terrifying. And just the weight of that music. Lamb of God is pretty close to it, I think, in my opinion. I've seen them a couple times, and they always deliver too. I don't know how big into metal you could say I am, but I mean, I've always followed it. I'm more into like the classic metal, like Iron Maiden and shit like that. That's my vibe, really. And then like kind of Motorhead and stuff.
I love
Oh,
it.
yeah.
What's your favorite Motorhead song?
Okay, this is bad, but it's Jailbait off of the Ace of
Oh.
Spades album. And it's just like the rhythm of that song, how that thing rolls. And I mean, I don't know, what's my favorite Motorhead song? A lot of them,
Mine is Just Because
roll
You
the
Got the
same.
Power.
not familiar with that one.
Doesn't mean you got the right.
No, yeah,
I know what you're
I haven't
talking about.
listened to Motorhead in forever. It's a sin.
Wow. Just because you got the power don't mean you got the right. The way he says it, obviously my little ass is not going to say it correctly. But, you know, it's a good song.
Just because you got the power, don't mean
You got the right. Yes.
That's Motorhead, right?
Yes.
I'm joking. Just had to say it.
Wow.
Did you know that Lemmy was in a prog band before Motorhead?
Mm-mm. Oh, wait.
I did hear that.
Hawkwind. Their big hit was Silver Machine, but their last album, Warrior on the Edge of Time, had a song called Motorhead on it.
Ah.
And what did that song end up being? It's the same damn song. It was Motorhead.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were. I'm not a. I don't know too much about Hawkwind, but they're a pretty interesting band. You can hear a lot of the roots of Motorhead in, especially their later albums, because Lemmy kind of started becoming more of a prominent figure because he was the one that sang on the Silver Machine song, and he was not the lead singer in the band at all by any means. There was just like he was the only one that could hit those notes. So that sorry, it's just a little bit of
No, you're good, man.
I'm gonna close the door because I'm getting goosebumps.
Yeah, I can get it if you want to chill.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Easier. I got it.
I got my little shorts on. I had to not get up. Oh man. Hello. Oh man's. Oh man's. Oh no, everybody's away. Say something, Polly.
Well, speaking of Goosebumps, I used to read the shit out of those books when I was a kid. They're like choose your own adventure or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Those are fucking dope.
Those are so expired. Fridge.
I love that one. You should do. Like, I used to also like had the scary stories to tell in the dark. You remember those
yeah.
ones?
Yeah.
We could actually get into the old oh man. What do you paranormal?
Paranormal.
Or,
Who's your favorite cryptid, John? Bigfoot?
Bigfoot.
Why Bigfoot?
I don't know. It's just like this big hairy dude that just lives out in the woods and he just kind of walks around. I don't know. I was into those like in elementary school. I read about like Bigfoot, Yeti,
Yeah.
the Legend of Mothman.
I love Mothman. I got a little chupacabra pin on right now.
Chupacabra. I love Chupacabra.
I love the chupacabra.
Aliens. I was always big about aliens. I always thought aliens are like people from the future, like highly evolved that come back to just like study us. But it's just when I get really stoned, I come up with shit like that. So
Have you?
I'm not the first, but
Do you feel like you've ever seen a UFO?
no, I have not. I've seen some things that in the sky that looked funny, but when I'm like, if anybody follows me on Facebook, they know I'm a big space nerd, which I'm also kind of an armchair aviation nerd. One of my goals is to get my pilot's license one day, whenever. It's just going to be like for fun now. So it's kind of low tier, but
So wait.
but I see like, like weird light patterns in the sky flying, or I hear something weird flying over, and what is that? And then later on it was, I'm like reading about this stuff and just how these airplanes work. And I'm like, oh, that's what that engine sounds like. Okay. This is me being some dumb hillbilly kid growing up out in cornfields. Cause back in the 90s, Grissom used to do, like, I remember when I was like 5 years old out in my backyard, there was an A-10. That's why it's my favorite airplane, like military airplanes. Cause they just came flying over. And we're just like doing like practice stuff over out in the cornfields out there. And I was like, I'm still a 9-year-old at heart when it comes to those. I go to even if I don't go to the 500, I always walk down to there just so I can see the flyover, because I'm like, that's my inner 9-year-old. It's like planes. So
Yes.
So space nerd, huh? All right, Let me test you. What is today for us space nerds?
What is the day? April 4th? April 5th?
April 5th, 2063.
Oh, Star Trek First Contact.
First Contact, baby. Yeah.
It's science fiction, but yeah, we have
That's
to
Whatever.
science fiction.
Whatever. Still fucking space nerd.
Yeah, Star Trek is I like Star Wars, don't get me wrong.
Me
but
too.
More so I like the documentary Empire of Dreams. That's my favorite Star Wars movie.
I don't think I've seen that.
Oh, it's great. It shows how they put the whole thing together. And George Lucas, especially in A New Hope, took from, the way this thing presents it, took from A New Hope, that the storyline from that was from Joseph Campbell, who did comparative religion and mythology. And
oh, how interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, sorry, I'm going to go off on a tangent here, but briefly, basically, it was this book called A Hero with a Thousand Faces, and it's all the heroic characters in mythology, and that's what Luke Skywalker was based off of. And then how these guys put the whole movie together, all the nuts and bolts of it, making the special effects. Like, I'm a big fan of practical effects where they have the models and whatnot. So, I always thought that was cool too.
All right.
This
I
is
took
where
this
I feel
once
like we
ago
need to have
without-
You ever see a
Sorry.
ghost?
Rich Parker chime in.
Have I ever seen a ghost? I don't know. I've had some odd experiences. Like I'm skeptical, but I'm also like, first I'm like, there has to be a rational explanation for it. But there's been some weird things from time to time in
Tell
my
me.
life, just like random sounds and random feelings. Really,
Yeah.
like I've not seen anything or like really like doors closing or anything like that. I don't doubt that at all. So like I said, I'm skeptical, but I'm like, there's something.
We should go on a
There's
chopped
something.
liver ghost hunt.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Let's go to the Central State Hospital.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
We'll
Let's
sneak
do
in.
that. I've always wanted to go there and like check it out.
I went there in the basement when I was like 18. You used to break in.
Mhm.
And you go in the basement and there's all this artwork from like the children's ward that was like untouched. Like it was just like stock.
Mm-hmm.
And I took some with me home.
Nice.
It was tight. I had like this really cool like 1960s like fairy print. It was like a little bunch of fairies in the garden.
Mhm.
And then I had another one that was like it was like butterflies and like little dots, like you know what I'm saying, that go around it. It was just really neat, and I was like, this is gonna go to waste. Like maybe I'm doing something bad, but this is gonna go to waste. I like it.
Mhm.
I like it, so I'm taking it.
Mm.
I don't know what else is going on in that area, but they've really built it up lately. Like there's some condos nearby, and I know the state police like kept their horses there for like when they did downtown patrols.
It's a little cemetery next to it.
Is there?
I did a photo
Yeah.
shoot in there.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's pretty tight. That was like my first photo shoot I ever did. I was in 2017. Probably. Linda Hervang, R.I.P. R.I.P. Linda. She was a fucking fantastic photographer. Everything she did was like, like super good, like fantasy, like I've never met like a more talented photographer than Linda.
Hell yeah.
Want to give her that recognition. I hope you're listening from beyond the grave.
Right on.
So, John, you've never seen a UFO. You think you might have when you were younger, but you've never for sure seen one.
No, I've never had any weird experiences like that.
You've never seen a door close by itself.
No,
I
nothing
have.
like that. No.
I unfortunately have. Yeah.
A lot of times a door closing
that?
by itself can be like well, it's at a level. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
See, all right.
And houses do settle. So I mean, like I said, I'm not denying that there's some
There's ghosts.
Yeah.
there's something.
There's some spooky guys.
Yeah, the dumbest shit I've ever seen when it comes to doors closing. I worked in actually Polly worked there too at one point. A pizza store that was haunted, and I was by myself. A fucking course. There's video of it too. At least there's that. There's a screwdriver sitting on top of the drop box, and it literally this screwdriver just flies off of it. And I'm washing dishes, and I'm like, what the fuck? And as I'm standing there looking, the bathroom door is right there. It's loose. There's no spring on it or anything. So the screwdriver flies off, and I'm sitting there looking like, what the fuck is that? I'm by myself, and that fucking door just slams fucking shut. I was like, all right, cool.
Very
Put the
spooky.
fucking rag back in the fucking sink and walked right out the fucking door like, I'm smoking a cigarette.
You know what the scariest moment I had was like wasn't a ghost, but it was a late night. When I graduated college, I graduated in 2009, and I was of that generation. Go to college, just get a degree, you'll
Right.
get hired. Well, then the economy crashed, and even McDonald's wasn't hiring. But I eventually found a job at the pest control company, and so I'm going into like restaurants at like 3:00 in the morning. My first time doing it, like back then I was very, very introverted. And so I'm like terrified about talking to managers and thank God I'm working nights, but still I'm like, kind of like, hey, I want to do good because I need this job. But also like, I've never worked at night doing a route. Like, what the hell? Okay. I don't know. Yeah, everything's fine. Well, I'm in a KFC working, and then the ice box, with the big ice machine when you used to just
Oh,
take
yeah.
a scoop out of it. The ice broke. So it's like dead quiet in the store, and then all of a sudden this all at once I jumped, and I was just like, my heart rate like went up like 20 times what it normally was, and I was just like, God damn. And then another time, we did Chuck E. Cheese too, and so I'm walking through Chuck E. Cheese at like 2:00 in the morning, and someone forgot to turn on the motion sensor for the animatronic
Oh
rat.
shit.
And so I'm just walking through, and I've done this account like a dozen times at this point. So I'm just walking through there half awake. Just like, God, I can't wait to hope I get home before Bob and Tom comes on the radio. And I'm just walking through Chuck E. Cheese, and then I walk past the rat, and all of a sudden, half awake, and just like, hey, the lights come on. I'm just like, damn it.
It's fucking wild.
Wow.
Yeah, but that was like, well, outside of a few like crackheads and other instances, but that was really honestly the most terrifying moments about that job.
Here's a good question. What's the most embarrassing thing you've ever experienced in your life?
Oh, right now.
Right now.
Oh yeah, I'm
This
embarrassing
question.
myself all over the place. No, most embarrassing experience. Shit, I got to think about that for a minute.
Yeah, it's a good one. Paulie, go ahead, tell yours. He's not even there.
What?
Where'd you go, Paulie? Hey, you
This
ready
is
for
a
that
bathroom.
drink? Let's do a drink or a shot. Although we're not doing.
I'll take a shot.
In spirit.
Yeah, in spirit. I still got a beer left. I got one beer left. When this beer's gone, though, we're ending this podcast.
Oh shit!
It's
Well, it
over.
could be like 2.5 seconds. I've seen you drink a beer.
I'm not doing that.
Wow.
Oh well, John already drank his. You got that bottle? What's up?
I got it right
All
here.
right, there you go.
Let's take a sip. Fuck it.
Cheers.
Cheers.
See you guys.
See you guys.
See you guys.
he's clocking out.
He's peaceful.
Bye.
It's been real. It's been fun, but it hasn't been real fun.
Hey, you know what, man?
What I know is brother.
You actually brought this up the other day, and I actually hadn't thought about it, but today is Stevie's birthday.
Right. Yeah, today's Steve's birthday.
We should probably do a shot for him.
Yeah, so grab that bottle.
I always called him Shot King, by the way.
King.
And I did that because without a doubt, like, it didn't matter what you was doing, Stevie was going to say, let's take a shot. And I swear that's what he always said to me. That man could definitely take some shots, but
Yeah.
love you, Stevie. This is for you, buddy.
Cheers. Here's Stevie. Happy birthday.
I'm going pee-pee. I'm going pee-pee.
One of the most embarrassing things I've ever done in my life is a Stevie story. So we got booked for this show out in like Greenfield. So I used to play in a band called Pigtail Crooks, and that's how I met Paulie, because Stevie was the other guitar player in the band. That's how we met, is through Stevie. And it got rained out or something, but we moved it back to what now I call the Shipwreck, but it was actually the bass player's brother's house. And it was like right before we played, he left his phone sitting there, and I was really drunk. And I looked at my ex-wife and I was like, hey, I'm gonna do something fucking funny as fuck. And I called his mom and I got her voicemail. And that was the plan, because I figured she probably wouldn't answer. And this is like the most embarrassing thing ever. Can't believe I'm fucking telling people I did this. I get the voicemail. Beep. I go, I will smash your face into a car windshield and take your mother, Dorothy Mantooth, out for a nice seafood dinner and never call her again. And hung up the phone. And about a half an hour later, Stevie comes storming down the stairs. He's like, Shep, did you call my mom and leave her a voicemail on my phone? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, so mad. He cussed me out so hard. I felt so bad about it. But eventually he was like, "You're fucking ridiculous." That was pretty funny.
I mean, that says a lot because he really doesn't get mad.
Oh, I've seen him mad.
I mean, yeah, he gets mad,
made him
but
really fucking mad.
yes,
But he got over it real quick.
right, yeah.
Comedy in it, but yeah, I've done some pretty dumb things. That's pretty embarrassing. It's pretty embarrassing. Paul, you got a good embarrassing story. I can't believe
That involves Stevie.
It doesn't have to necessarily, but yeah, dude, for sure, Stevie. I mean, it's his birthday.
Sure, why not?
Oh, let's go full screen on this one. I like the way you said, "Sure, why not?" This is gonna be a typo hole.
First, say hi, Midnight.
Hi, Midnight.
That's not happy about it.
Impressed.
I don't know, man. I don't know if I can tell this story.
I feel like you're about to.
Yeah, I feel like you're probably right.
Just edit some things out.
Yeah, we're gonna edit it out, I'm sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Just make it like rated R instead of like not rated.
Oh yeah, no, it's not that bad. I mean, it's really it's kind of short, but I don't know, dude. We used to party down pretty good. Take these fucking headphones out. Can't get shit in without like hearing my own voice echo back in my fucking ears. So, like, yeah, dude, I was we used to get together and pretty much Sunday was like an all day drinking event, and this is after like fucking Saturday, so we'd fucking like hang out, we watch the Colts game and then like 15 other football games, sit around, play fucking euchre, just get real fucking stupid drunk. And then like when we finally ran out of booze, we'd head over to like McShane's or fucking 10th Street Pub or Rockets or something, and finish our night out there drinking fucking Boilermakers. Well, anyway, so I got real fucking hammered one time, and like I literally went and I found the closest fucking bedroom, and I just like passed out on the floor for like, I don't know, probably 20 minutes or 30. And then I got back up, and then like I was trying to fucking like get back onto the couch, but it was like, there was like this fucking table and there was like people and I was in the middle and shit, of course. So I'm trying to get back to my seat. And the next thing I know, like I just fucking flat out fell right down onto Stevie's lap. And like, he just kind of grabbed my hips and it's like I was giving him a lap dance or whatever. And then later on, I ended up pissing on his couch. So yeah, that happened. Yeah, pissed all over that motherfucker. And then later on that evening, he ends up fucking like there was this fucking joke, and I swear to God, Stevie had the biggest fucking balls that I have ever fucking seen. So he goes up to the fucking window. He had like this picture window in his front room, and like we're just fucking partying along, and like the next thing I know, like somebody dared him to fucking stick his balls on the fucking window, and like no shit, he literally just whipped them out and fucking smashed them up against the fucking window for all the neighbors to see and shit. It was like, yeah, sounds like some shit, man.
God damn, man. That's a good story, bro. Hell yeah. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
Oh man. So if you're just tuning in,
I'm sorry.
Somebody might have just yeah. I'm like watching the count. We got John Trousers Thomas on the show tonight, hanging out, shooting the shit. We just recollected some memories hanging out with our friends, Paulie and I's friend Stevie, that's passed away. Probably what 10 years ago now.
It's got to be coming up on 10.
Yeah, it's coming up.
It's probably like 8 or so.
Something like that. But
yeah.
So John, we've covered pretty much rock and roll. We covered a little bit of drugs. Haven't really gotten into sex yet.
No, not really.
And we did cover the paranormal or the unknown. So do you have any fantastic memories or a great story that you'd like to tell us that isn't too incriminating?
Oh,
like fucked up. What the fuck happened?
Oh, well, you're talking about embarrassing stories a minute ago,
Mhm.
and not really embarrassing, but just kind of a what the fuck moment.
Mm-hmm.
Back in college, when I was going to Marion, one of the girls that were like, I did track and cross country there, and then it was pretty cool college. I mean, it was weird. We were like the only campus in our conference that allowed alcohol. It was Catholic, so I mean, I'm not Catholic, but my mom went there, and I ended up going there. Long story on that, but anyways, we ended up going to the Ugly Monkey because this girl had won a VIP package there. It was like quarter beers, dollar shots, and $5 mixed drinks. Well, I was big into Jaeger bombs back then, so I ordered a bunch of Jaeger bombs, but I also ordered Jaeger bombs for me and whoever else I was drinking with. I had about 8 of those. I can't tell you how many quarter beers I went through, and I had a shit ton of shots. And by 12:30, by 11 o'clock, I don't remember anything. And 12:30, I have this memory of one of my teammates just pat me on the back, going like, "Hey man, get it out, you'll feel better." And I'm like behind the dumpster behind the place, and then it's a complete blank from that point. I don't know how I got home. I don't know what happened, but all I know is that the next morning I woke up and I'm on this. It's pitch black. And I'm on this cold, hard floor. And I'm like, for a second, I'm like, what the fuck? And then I come to my senses and I'm like, oh, yeah, we were at the bar last night. I was really drunk. I must be on one of the guys' bathroom floors. And yeah, that's where I was at. I was in like some psychopath's basement or whatnot. But
Oh God.
I don't know what I did, but we went out for, I mean, we're still training. We would do like cross country meets like Saturdays. We'd go up to Chicago, run a race, get back about 3, take a shower, take a nap. And then about 7 o'clock, we'd all go down to the Village Liquor Store at 30th and Lafayette and buy a handle of Admiral Nelson. And we
man,
for each of us. And we would destroy that whole thing by 3
It's
a.m.
about what it takes.
And then we would wake up at like 7:30 and go to Eagle Creek and run with the Kenyans because we had a couple Kenyans on our team. And I don't know how the hell I did it because now like tomorrow's going to be interesting. Had a few beers.
yeah, same.
But
Yeah.
Jesus, back then I was like, man, we could really put it down. But nonetheless, we went out running after I kind of came to my senses about 11 o'clock, and we're running down Cold Spring Road right by campus, and like 3 groups of people that were at the Ugly Monkey that night were like, JT, woo! Like, what did I do? I don't know. I think I just got so drunk that it was just that impressive. I don't know.
So impressive, man. I remember drinking Admiral fucking Nelson, dude.
Mhm. It's good with
rum,
Dr.
that's
Pepper.
spicy rum.
Mhm.
God, you ever had what's that fucking booze called? With the fucking Release the Kraken. You ever had Kraken?
No,
Oh
I've not.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've not had that. No.
Yeah, I always like back in the day. I'd always say like, "Hey, let's go get some black tar." And if you know what that reference means, that means if you drink Kraken and you
That's what it
get
looks
sick-
like.
if you get sick on it,
Mhm.
you're literally gonna puke up black tar.
Mm.
It is like awful. But God, I cannot remember one time that I drank Admiral Nelson and did not feel like total shit. the next day.
Oh yeah.
It's awful.
Yeah, if you're familiar with Eagle Creek, they got a little pond right there. There's some bathrooms, and when we were doing like anywhere from 10 to 15 milers through there, we would always make sure to just start doing loops around that pond because there's bathrooms right there, and each of us would take a turn, go into the bathroom. Guys would do about 2 laps. He'd come out, the other guy would go in, and we did it one at a time on purpose because A, we're trying to get the miles in, and B, you kind of want to be alone in those situations, I think. So.
Did you do you have a really good drinking story, like beyond the one that you just told?
In England, when I was at Reading Festival, I stayed at a hotel called Great Expectations, which is named after a Dickinson novel. And it's a typical British hotel. It's got a pub on the ground level, and Friday night was the first night of the festival, and we'd all met up Thursday night to go to a different pub and have a couple rounds. And we all decided that Friday we're all going to do our own thing. Saturday we're going to run around the festival and go partying together. And then Sunday we were queuing up at 7 a.m. at the gate so we could get a barrier spot to see Muse later that night at 9 o'clock. And I succeeded at that. I have photographic proof of it too. But nonetheless, that night, Friday, I was kind of wandering around myself, and the highlight of that night was seeing Henry Rollins. He was on the comedian stage, and he was out there talking. And, Hank's been kind of interesting to me, so I remember that. Went back to my hotel, and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to have a burger. They had good burgers there, really good burgers, and I'm going to have a pint, and I'm going to go to bed. Well, I sat down. This guy's sitting next to me, and he's got the wristband, the festival wristband on. And I'm like, oh, you're going to Reading? He looked about my age. So we started up a conversation. He's a pretty friendly guy. And turns out this guy used to come to Indiana to coach lacrosse. And he's been to IU. He's been to Notre Dame. He's been to St. Mary of the Woods, all these different places. And he was familiar with some of I told him about Stilesville, the town I grew up in, part of my childhood. And he was like, I remember that. It's got one stoplight, and he's just spent so much time over here. And I was like, so bizarre. And I shit you not, this is what happened. His other buddy came over and said, hey, we're out at our mate's bachelor party tonight. He's getting married tomorrow. You want to come out with us? And I'm like, fuck yeah. So I got taken out to some weird places, nothing creepy or anything. It was just yeah, if you look at all those townhomes in the suburbs of Britain, it's just house, kind of they're all just tied together. Well, there's this large black dude sitting outside in a tuxedo. We walk up to it, and he's like, welcome, gentlemen. And what is this? It's a house. I walk in, I shit you not, it's a club. There's a foyer, the entryway. It's normal. Looks like a house. And you walk in behind that. It's a club. I don't know what it was because I was already half drunk by this point. And then at this party that was going on, they were like, oh, let's get the American drunk. And so they gave me the nastiest ales that they had. I mean, some of the nastiest, and I drank it all. And I was so drunk. I don't know how I found my hotel room the next morning, but they're one of the guys I remember kind of walked me back close to it because they were drunk as shit too. They were pounding them right down with me. And that's what I love about the British. They will fuck with you and get you drunk, but they will do it right alongside you, and you'll have a great time.
Hell yeah.
And that's probably my favorite drinking story of all time. But never found them on Facebook or anything. Just that's one of the things I've loved. So blessed to have been able to travel for that time period. It was just random people you meet that you're never going to see again, but you just hit it off with them so well. And you're just yeah, right on. And then
hell yeah,
next
man.
Adventure.
That's fucking awesome.
I ran into a Dutch couple in St. Thomas one time that just really fucking hit it off with them. And it was just by the end.
Whoa.
Here's the beef.
By the next day, it was, hey, anytime you're over in Deutschland, give us a fucking ring. You know, come visit us, hang out. You got a place to stay. It was really cool. It's neat to run into shit like that, especially when they're from another country. You know,
Deutschland.
yes, Deutschland.
Deutschland.
What about you, Katie? What's your adventure?
What's going on this week? Where?
No,
Oh.
like drinking adventure.
Oh. Okay, let's talk about when I was 14, my 14th birthday. Okay, so I told, obviously there's a bunch of lies that were told to let me get to where I was supposed to be. Because I was supposed to be like at one of my friends' houses, but we ended up going downtown in Anaheim, and my friend had rented a hotel room. She like lied to the guy. She was like, I was dumped, and then I was dumped. And then we were just like, started drinking it was like, our sidewalk slams that I mentioned last episode.
Yeah.
And our Four Locos and our fucking Kahlua and shit. I liked Kahlua back then. And we were drinking on the side of, the Crystal Cathedral, which is like this giant, like, fucking glass church in the middle of Anaheim. It's like world renowned. It's like fucking wild. And it was just wild because like my other friend was on ecstasy and she was like, I can taste the color blue. And I was like,
Tastes like
What
strawberries.
exactly does that taste
I
like?
can taste the color blue. And then like when we were at like the Crystal Cathedral, this like punk dude came up to me and was like, he was definitely a predator and I didn't know because I was 14. And he was like, trying to make out with me and shit. And then followed us, went back to our friend's house, and then like he took me into the room and everything. And my friend Eric came into the room when he was gonna try to do something with me, and like he stopped it and like saved me. And that guy left, obviously. But then me and my friend Eric went to another party, and we've been drinking for like, at least 24 hours straight at that point. Like I woke up and we had Kahlua in my coffee. Like we went to Burger King and my friend got me a coffee. We put Kahlua in it, and that's before we went to the Crystal Cathedral. But this last party, I like twisted my ankle, and me and my friend, we're like 14 and 13. I was a little bit older than him. And we're like walking back to my old apartment complex, right? And I'm like my ankle's twisted, so it's like 2:00 in the morning, and we're just these kids like walking down the middle of the street, like drunk as fuck, trying to get home. And we had to like jump fences to like get over the gate because it's a gated community. God, the whole like sorry, a bug.
Oh shit!
What is it?
Stink bug.
Is a stinky guy. He looked like a spider though, and
Put a piece of paper.
I don't be doing that.
Paper?
Yeah, we'll just like put them on it and not sell
Yeah.
it. 'Cause I don't want to smash him.
A stinky guy.
Trousers the pacifist.
No, he stinks.
He
Yeah,
stinks.
no, I don't.
Do you know why they do that? It's not just to fend people off, but it also alerts their other stink bug family that they are under attack, and they all come swarming in.
Whose aura is purple, Craig?
Purple.
Who has a purple aura? Weed.
So
weed.
I want to.
No, Craig, that's you sitting in that bathroom smoking weed in the purple fucking bathroom.
He's about to take a dump.
Mine is purple. Is that a good thing? What does that mean? Tell me what it means right now.
Purple.
Tell me what it means. Is it royalty? I thought that's what it's. Yeah.
Purple has a lot of
Blue.
fucking right.
Fucking right, I am. Yeah, I know.
Right.
So like red
from Almost
causes
Famous.
concentration. Blue is a friendlier, happier color. You ever heard?
Yeah, blue's like calm, like you have a
Right.
calming presence.
Mhm.
Yellow is like joy. Orange is like cautious, like a lot of like internal struggle.
And what's purple, Craig? Okay,
All right.
there it is.
Ow, ow, ow. My
I was waiting for it.
my-
Dude's like the biggest movie reference fucking motherfucker of all time. So I've got an interesting one. Definitely not my most exciting drinking story of all time, but it's a humdinger. So I just moved here. I met this my friend of mine, Chris, on the school bus. He lived right around the corner from me, and he had some older friends, right? So we're like 15, 14, something like that. And he had set up. We had planned this whole day out, and it was like a Saturday or Sunday, and so his friends. I don't want to use their names, but these two chicks that live out past Shelbyville. What's that? What's that town? Greensburg, from Greensburg, and they rent in a motel. These two chicks rent in a motel, and Chris and I were gonna go hang out with them and drink, and it was all planned out. It was gonna be awesome, and so they brought a fifth of Jim Beam. And we get to the motel after like spending an hour trying to find this back before GPS, whatever. Well, I mean, GPS existed. You just didn't have cell phones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And pop open this bottle. This motel room's got 2 beds. What are the odds?
Oh.
And we're sitting down in front of the beds, and we open the bottle, and we're all just sitting there in a circle. And Chris is like, "So who's gonna take the first shot?" I was like, "I'll take the first shot." And he's like, "Bro, you know, talking shit like something about drinking or whatever." We lost Polly. And so we just start talking shit.
Mhm.
And I'm like, "Dude, I've had tequila, I've had this. I'm young, but I had some drinks by then." And is he back? He's back. And
Guess who's back?
back again.
Polly's back.
Back
Tell a
again.
friend.
And he's like, "Dude, I
Polly's
bet
back.
you couldn't even do a double shot of that." This is the last time I drank Jim Beam, by the way. And I was like, "Dude, I bet I can drink that whole thing right now." And he was like, "Bet." And the two chicks are like sitting here just watching us crazy 14 or 15-year-olds. By the way, they're like 25, 27 years old.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, total pedophiles, pretty much. The more you know.
Mhm.
Back then, though, I had no clue what was happening. So, anyways, I did it. I chugged a fifth of fucking Jim Beam, straight up, one shot. Pop that
Glug,
motherfucker.
glug, 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 glug,
30
glug,
seconds. About 30 seconds, I'm like starting to lose grip of reality. And then I remember crawling, like I got sick. I was like, I have to pee. And I crawled, and that's it. Nothing. And the next thing I remember is Billie. Damn, I said her name. Fuck.
Billie Eilish.
All right. Well, just Billie Eilish standing
Yes.
over me. And what she had walked into was a very young bullshit, this close to death. I passed out on my back before I could get to the toilet, and my face was completely blue and purple.
Ah, shit.
And she turned me over, and I puked. And I remember that moment. And then the next thing I remember is waking up like the next day around 1. This, by the way, it's only like 8 p.m. that this happened. By the way, it's like still daylight out. And I woke up the next day in the afternoon, and I was sick for like 3 fucking days. But my buddy Chris just kept harping on me, because little did I know, the whole point of that was for me to lose my virginity.
Oh,
Never even met these chicks, but
Oh.
whatever.
You could have got some coochie. Instead, you got your life saved.
I shouldn't even be live, but I haven't had
Living that
Jimmy
coochie
since then.
life.
Yeah, you almost pulled a bomb.
Oh shit,
Scott.
Holly, I couldn't hear you.
Wow.
Yeah, I switched back to the other phone.
Okay.
I'm having charging issues with my cell phones.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Uh,
yeah, shouldn't be live.
Shouldn't be alive.
I've got other ones. But I'm not going to tell them.
I think about all
another
the
day.
times I could have possibly been like sex trafficked in my life, and I was like, damn, it's pretty high.
I've only been sex trafficked like 4 times.
It's pretty high. Like, I don't know what I was doing, but I was doing some like, I was putting myself in some situations,
Yeah, I've
not knowing.
I've definitely in my time have done my fair share of drinking irresponsibly, or maybe possibly some drugs that I little bit over the top.
Hey,
At times.
At times, yeah.
there's a time and
But-
a place for
Yeah.
everything.
Haven't had Jim Beam since.
Hey.
Can't even smell
Oh,
it
some
without.
people just cannot drink Jim Beam.
I definitely
Everybody's got that that one alcohol that they just can't drink.
Hypnotic.
That's tequila for me.
Yeah, I'm okay with tequila.
Love tequila.
I love tequila.
Fucking love it. Tequila.
To kiss ya, basically.
To kiss you. I don't know. It's the only liquor that actually gives you energy. It's true. It's science. Gives you energies.
Yeah, today, but not tomorrow.
Actually, tequila, as long as it's 100% agave, like as long as it's Hondo.
Agave. Jaeger. Oh, I know Jaeger.
Oh,
Craig's
God.
got a story.
All right, here we go.
Craig's story.
This is
What?
Craig's story told by Shep. When I was a teen, we mixed SoCo and a 2-liter of Mountain Dew. We started ranging in the front yard, raging so hard. Buddy got run over by a pickup truck, got arrested, and he broke the handcuffs.
Oh,
His wrists were fucked for months.
oh man.
Yeah, great story.
Good job.
I don't think that was GPT
So
or
he gets
GTP
run over
chat.
and gets arrested. Ain't that about a bitch?
I wonder who that was. I'm curious. Craig, you wanna tell us who that was? Just Buddy.
Tell us.
Tell us. Now.
Phil's like, no Jaeger, please. He can't do the Jaeger.
That's Jaeger.
Jaeger. I'm trying to think
So-
of what my no-go fucking drink is. It's probably brown liquor drinks.
Brown liquor
I'd
drinks.
say
I'm
that's-
kind of I turn kind of mead when I drink like dark liquor. So like I usually try to drink clear liquor. Like I remember like okay, I think we were drinking Hennessy or some shit at this party, and this girl was trying to like hook me up with this guy, and like he walked up to me and like was like talking to me and stuff like that, and he was like, "Oh, can I get your number? Blah 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 blah," and I was like, what do you need that for? Like I was mean, like I was really mean, and it's probably somebody I wouldn't have dated obviously in the first place. But yeah, fucking I was like, what the fuck do you need my number for? Like he's all trying to like be sweet and stuff, and I was just mean. Yes, I know German, Phil. I'm playing.
Sprechen Sie Deutsch? Ja.
Yeah.
Mein
No.
Deutsch nicht sehr gut. No.
I really want to learn
That's
how
so
to
good.
speak it. I kind of understand it.
My
when I
aunt
hear
could
it,
teach
but-
you really well.
I bet
Dude,
she could.
I know
bro.
how to
I
say.
bet she could. German as fuck. All right.
I know how to say you got a big butt.
In Deutsch.
You got a big, or it's
Du
got a
hast
big butt.
eine
and
große
it cannot lie.
Popo. Du
Oh,
hast
man.
How
eine
is it?
große Popo.
I
Die
think
Popo
Did
is
I ever tell you about the time I
große.
stayed in Frankfurt for the night?
Frankfurt, Indiana.
No, definitely not Frankfurt, Indiana.
Steer clear, Frankfurt,
Yeah,
Indiana.
meth capital.
Oh,
That's
That's like the Hemet of Indiana.
I booked a hotel at a train station, and I didn't even really think about it. I was like, I wasn't staying there. It was like after I went to the family hometown, and I went there, and I remember I got one right across from the Hauptbahnhof, the main train station, and didn't think about it too much. I remember walking into the hotel, and they had Fresh Prince of Bel Air on, except it was with German overdub, so
Oh, nice.
Carlton walks in like, "Ich meine Konfutter." I'm like, what the fuck?
That's great.
Get to my room. Remember a storm rolled through, and I was like, I got a train at 6 a.m. to catch. It was the Frankfurt to Paris, Paris to London, and I was like, oh, God. No, I got to walk around the city some. So I step out the front of the hotel, and all of a sudden I notice catty corner across the street, the intersection is a shop with a giant sign that says sex. And I was like, all right, well, yeah, it's Europe. They're a little bit more. This is like, 15 years ago. I'm like a little bit more open, and I'm from Indiana. I know they had probably shit like that in New York and LA, but I hadn't been there yet. So
Yeah.
I was like, okay, yeah, that's kind of cool. Well, whatever. And I start walking down the street, and there's these women sitting on bar stools, standing out front, and they're in like lingerie, garters, and stockings. And I'm like, and it took me a minute. I'm like, oh, the red light district.
Right.
It's legal here. Oh my God. I didn't even think I wasn't going there for it, but I was like, oh my God. And I was kind of like walking around, and I was like, this is interesting now. And I walked past these empty bars where there's like a bounce, like, oh, come in. No, you don't do that. That's a trick.
It's a trick. Grab an axe.
That's a trick. What happens? It's different in some countries, but like Soho in London, any red light district in Europe, there's a couple different places. But you walk in, empty bar, pretty girl sits down next to you, and it's like, oh, would you buy me a drink? Oh, yeah, sure. What's the menu? Oh, €5. Yeah, sure. And this is in like Germany. €5. Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll buy you a drink. You buy her a drink, she disappears. They come out with the bill. It's for €1,000. What do you mean, €1,000? I bought 2 drinks, €5. That's €10. No. They're €500 a piece in this bar. Oh, no. That's not the case. I'm calling the police. So the police come in. They show them the menus. Oh, no. It's €500. In Soho, London, like if you get yammed by that, it's a little bit different. And like I said, in each country, but there's some bouncers will carry out to the ATM. Come on, give us some money. So,
Wow.
I don't know if that's still prevalent nowadays, but
It's a trick. You think you're getting coochie,
that's
but
their
instead
there's scams everywhere.
you're getting
man.
capitalized on.
There's scams everywhere.
Yeah.
It's no different than here, but it's just like how they do it over there. It's kind of I never fell for it. Like I didn't have that kind of money anyway.
Yeah.
So I was a bare bones backpacker when I went there. It was like, okay, I've got just enough. I think I can survive.
Hey.
Well, I think it's about time to wrap it up, y'all.
All right, we can do that.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah. So shout out to John Trousers. Thanks for coming on, man.
Thank you for having me.
Hell
It's been
yeah.
fun.
It
Good
has
seeing y'all.
been. Thank you for bringing what is it called?
Zombie dust.
Zombie dust. Hell yeah.
Zombie dust.
Do you got anything coming up you want to promote, put out there?
Not really. Might be releasing some new music that we're working on. If anybody's interested, I would love a drummer and a bass player because Ian plays drums very well, but I love his guitar playing and I love his voice, and I want a drummer. So,
Oh yeah.
But like I said, the thing we got is low key, so it's whatever.
Right on. Well, dude, it's been fun. I'm glad you were able to make it out tonight. No tornadoes.
No
Hey.
tornadoes. Let down.
Hell yeah.
Well,
I was
no.
supposed to die tonight. Like
I mean, it's
I'm live. I'm
It was in
live.
the
Top
card.
night's not
Secret.
over yet.
I was gonna get an insurance claim.
Not
today,
gonna
but
win.
I-
Yeah, I was supposed to die on live TV or live podcast tonight, and I didn't do it. So
it's
wow,
I don't understand the reference.
You're
Been,
not
it's been
supposed
quiet
to.
and cozy.
You're not supposed to.
Oh man.
Yeah.
It's
Craig, me too. I had my aunt she's a German teacher. I still failed. Still failed. Different school, but still failed.
I struggled with German in college with Frau Flauck. She was like spoke 5 languages and was Romanian and German, and
Oh,
I still
wow.
sucked.
Still suck.
I still sucked. I grew up with a German grandma, and what the fuck are you saying? Ich meine Gott, ah!
yeah, my
Ah.
my great grandfather, he spoke strictly German.
Mhm.
It was pretty bad.
But German culture is fun. I love the Christmases.
Yeah.
I love the food. Heidelberg Cafe. Love it.
Hell yeah.
We used to go to Oktoberfest in Long Beach with my school for German class,
Mhm.
and be like, Zika zaka zika zaka. Oi oi oi. And then they'd take their drinks, you know, or you just hear the chicken dance and like link arms and shit. It was fun.
Drink
Yeah,
beer from Boots.
das Boot.
Mhm.
And they had like chicken and like mashed potatoes and shit.
Yeah.
Man, that reminds me. So, Chop Liver, we had I think it was a Wednesday show, but we had Mugen Hoso for a Chop Liver Music Madness Party's beer
Oh,
show.
yeah, that was a Wednesday.
And we had them crash at Horror Church, and their English is like so fucking bad. And so like the whole time we're all hanging out back at Horror Church drinking and shit, and literally like they're listening. I don't think they understood what we were saying, but pretty much the only thing we could ever like accomplish that evening, at least in communication, was what did the Japanese say for shots? Oh fuck, I can't remember.
Well, I mean, they have
It's,
the drink sake, and
no,
they go
the-
sake.
No, there's a
Or
term.
maybe that's Americans. that do that, I
Kombucha?
don't know.
I can't
That's-
remember the
isn't that like a
word.
tea?
It's killing me.
Kombucha.
But
Kombucha. That's a.
but they would
drink.
they'd be like, they would just yell it like, "Rah!" And we'd take shots, man. It was great. It was great. I can't believe I swear it was kamikaze or something like that.
Bonsai.
Bonsai! That's it.
Bonsai.
That's what
Yeah.
it was.
No shit. They say that when they take a
Yeah,
shot.
yeah, they were yelling bonsai. I'm pretty sure. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Either fucking way, it's been a great night. I'm glad we were able to do this and fucking, you're able to make it out. It's been super fucking fun.
Yeah.
Paulie, hey, the mic this week, great. It went well.
Good job, Polly.
Hell
When are you
yeah.
coming back to us?
Yeah. Well, he'll be here next week for number 51.
Okay.
So next week, our guest is Jerica Ramathorn.
Oh yeah.
And we're also going to have
Wait,
Sam.
aren't you in a relationship with her now?
I am. That is correct.
Wow.
This is so
Yeah.
wild, dude. I never
Wow.
thought
What
I'd
are
see
the odds?
Significant other Wednesday.
Yeah. Yeah. I was talking to Dennis and because I was telling him on at band practice, I was like, Dennis, by the way, he's the drummer for Ramathorn and Sick the Ripper and Tight Like a Tiger. But I was joking. I was like, yeah, like, be like, so how was your daytime commute? Babe.
Bird.
Babe. But
Probably drive up with me.
so Jerry is having her first official guest on the Midweek Crisis, and Sam Ayton, he's a local drummer. Actually, I think he's from Fort Wayne, but he's also a tattoo artist.
Oh, is he gonna tattoo us?
And next Wednesday, the group of us will all be getting a tattoo
Oh.
live on the podcast.
Oh
Can I come
shit!
back and get that Buzz Aldrin tattoo I've wanted?
No.
I'm gonna have 18 tattoos next week. Wow.
So yeah, so Katie, Jerica, Polly, myself, Sam, and wait, there's one more person. Who am I missing? I don't know. Tune in to find out.
Wow.
But there's a total of 6 of us that will be here. So
Is
yeah,
it pre-designed tattoo or do we?
yeah, it's pre-designed.
What is it?
What is it called? It's not a hatchet. It's you know what?
Thank God.
No, it's yeah. What do they chop liver with?
Oh,
hatchet.
cleaver.
A
A
mallet.
cleaver. It's a
A
cleaver.
cleaver.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, but we gotta let Sam know what we're doing, like, because inside of the cleaver, more than likely it's gonna be like a CL for like chopped liver.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. We're gonna get a thread going, and we're all gonna discuss what we're doing. But Sam is kind enough to hook us all up with tattoos next week.
Fuck yeah.
So yeah, and Jerica's gonna be the
Righteous.
the guest. and then-
Noise.
yeah, it's gonna be fucking dope. So yeah, tune in next Wednesday for that craziness.
Tattoos.
It's live tattoos in Lapel,
wow.
the luscious loins of
Of
Lapel,
Lapel.
Indiana. So again, thank you, John. It was fucking dope. It was super cool hanging out. And,
Great hanging with you guys. Great talking.
Thanks
for
with you.
coming on the
Great
show,
talking with you,
Trousers.
Chef.
That's tight. I'm
It's been an honor.
excited.
Okay.
yeah,
Thank you.
that's why I
too.
was like, yeah, Paulie's gonna fucking be here. He needs his 43rd tattoo.
Yeah.
Is that accurate,
It
by the way?
is literally
My-
like 43.
Hey!
Memory, motherfucker. What? That'll be
You
my.
do got a memory.
Yeah,
It'll
I
be
do a
my
little bit.
18th.
I can remember anything but names. Just horrible names. But thank you guys, everybody at home for interacting and watching the live show. It's been super fucking dope. Oh, look at it. Some more comments. Phil said, congrats, Shep.
Wow.
Oh, thanks, buddy. Yeah, I love her to death. She's my better half for sure. And then let's see.
About
I'd
time
love
you
to hit
locked that
Japan
down.
someday. Hey,
All right. If Rob were here, he would say to turn on your headlights.
yeah.
Yep.
Shop
Shop
smart.
smart. Shop S smart.
We are the unheard.
We are the unseen.
Overlooked.
Why
Overlooked.
do I keep fucking this up? Listen, we'll practice before next time. You gotta I'm on probation. It's okay.
You're on probation.
No, from saying that.
We're in Lapel. You can't be saying that too loud. There's like 7 cops sitting outside waiting because they heard you say it.
Oh shit.
We are the son of a bitch. Hold on. Wait. I made a promise. I gotta finish this.
I'm
beer.
supposed to do the last one, so Polly's supposed to say the second part, and that's what we're fucking up. So you're supposed to say the second part. So do it again, Shep.
I've really got to piss, so guys, figure this out.
I got pissed so bad. We are the overheard.
We are the underlooked.
Oh my god! This show's gonna keep going on forever.
We are chopped liver.
Wait, what? Are we supposed to end the show now?
Yes,
I
bitch.
have
You're
no
like-
idea.
We have to do it right. We have to do
I don't
it right.
know. All I know is we're holding Trousers' liver
Yeah.
fucking hostage.
We are the overheard. We are the overlooked.
We are
top
liver.
Hell yeah. Thanks, guys. Thanks, John.
Thanks for having me.
Liver.
You think you're weird? I think you're dumb.